All right. So this is we got Kirk Cameron. He's quite funny. I don't know. He's just he's just kind of in that same like, I don't know, Ray Comfort, um young earth creationist, anti-science thread. So, just kind of always entertaining to watch. He has a video here called Is Doubt a Sin? And in this video, I only watched a couple of minutes, but I got to a point where he calls himself a recovering atheist, which is just kind of funny, just seeing as how like I've never even thought of him as being any kind of atheist at all. It he does not seem like somebody that was like, uh, you know, uh, an atheist that then got saved or whatever. So I don't know. It just seems kind of odd that he even calls himself that. But I don't know. Here we go. Let's check it out. I am Brantley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. All right, here it goes.
So today we're talking about, is it wrong to question what you believe and why you believe that?
Of course it is. How dare you? You don't ever get to question stuff. Okay, you're a Christian, by the way. God damn it. Okay, what do you even think this is?
Meaning your faith in just the Bible. And
look how nervous Kirk Cameron is. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna play this one. Well, I'm gonna have to figure it out.
What it teaches. Have there ever been points in your life where you have questioned your faith?
Absolutely. Remember, I came out of atheism.
So, yeah. See what I mean? I came out of atheism.
So I started my faith in Christ by questioning my religion of atheism. I tell people today, I'm a recovering atheist. And if it weren't...
What? Hold on. Hold on. We gotta go back and listen to the whole question again. Because I'm like, did I forget what the fucking question is? Because like, how did he... What?
What it teaches. Have there ever been points in your life where you have questioned your faith?
Absolutely. Remember, I came out of it.
Okay. Good God. So he like totally flips the script there, or tries to. Because he's basically like, has there ever been a time when you have questioned your faith? He's like, well, here.
Atheism. So I started my faith in Christ by questioning my religion of atheism.
So he flips it and says, oh yeah, no, I've questioned my faith. Of course. Yeah, absolutely. There was a time when I was an atheist. I questioned that. I was like, why is atheism so stupid? Well, I'll tell you, because Christianity's true. See, I questioned myself right out of my religion of atheism into my relationship. It's not a religion. It's a relationship of Christianity.
I tell people today, I'm a recovering atheist. And if it weren't for me questioning my beliefs as an atheist,
what
beliefs?
It isn't a belief. Like, it's a lack of a belief. Oh my God.
Never would have stepped into the light of the truth. Dude, and I'm hoping that every pagan that I meet, every person trapped in a false religion will also question their faith. So
what pagan? What is that? Does he think that pagan is like synonymous with atheism?
So that they can come to the freedom that's found in Christ. And I also think it's really important that I
love it too. He's like, all those other people that believe false religions, I want to believe the true. I mean, I'm sorry, to come to know the love of Jesus Christ. You can't just say, come believe the true religion, which is mine. I believe the true one. Damn it. All right. No, no, he has to like rephrase it because he knows like, oh, that sounds like it's just, out of all these religions, I'm just saying that mine is the true one, just basically arbitrarily.
Continue to question my faith and what I believe. so that I know not only what I believe, but why I believe it. And I know that's what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, good. Even he's like, yeah, that is what we're talking about. You wrote it on the whiteboard right over there. That's why we're talking about it, Dad. Okay, you make up the topics, and then you just make me pretend like I'm the one who's asking.
No, I think I have a similar journey to finding God.
Really? No, yeah. You started as an atheist, as the famous Christian kiddo. You started by questioning your faith in atheism.
Where it's interesting because you're essentially a professional Christian, and we grew up in the church and surrounded by Christians, but my faith journey took a lot of questions, and it was a long process of work.
Your faith journey took a lot of question. Did you replace the word turns with questions?
Working through those things and hearing the other sides and the other arguments to come to where I'm at now in my belief and in my faith.
James, I want to jump in just real quick, if you don't mind.
I'm going to just jump in right here. Okay. No.
Just say to you, moms and dads who are out there,
It's like you can just respond when it's us two of you talking. Just throwing that out there.
I know you want your kids to ask you all their questions about your faith. And James, I want you to ask me all your questions. Like, what do you mean you had questions? What do you mean you had questions? I want you to bring them.
I'm a question answering machine. Okay. You should never have questions because I already answered them all. And so then you're just done. You know, you're there, you know.
To me, because I've studied this so much and I've had so many of my own questions.
Jesus.
I've often said that.
Did you hear that thing fucking slam down? Hold on. It's like boom. Like it's like a Jurassic Park scene where the water's like shaking.
Ask me all your questions. Like, what do you mean you had questions? What do you
Same glass of water there too. That's kind of funny from Jurassic Park. Anyway.
mean you had questions? I want you to bring them to me because I've studied this so much and I've had so many of my own questions. I've often said that, like, I've got this, like, almost like
God damn. What the fuck? My goodness. All right, how's everybody doing? You know, feeling okay? Doing all right? I'm okay. I'm better. I'm a little better. You know, been not feeling too great. Good to be honest. Let's see. I'm Cy. Hey, Bree. How's it going? You Bree was buzzing by and was, but yep, you were. You're like, I'm number one. I'm number one. That's how you were saying it, right? No. Okay. And Bob Boppy. How's it going? What's up? And that's it. Yeah. There's just the two of you are hanging out. That's great. Thank you. All right. Yeah, we'll keep going.
30-day rhythm and cycle of doubt that I have dealt with up until probably the last 10 years, where I've kind of gotten to the end of my big list of questions. There's still some reserve that I'll never quite fully understand, but I want you to ask questions. And so part of what I want to ask you now is why you didn't come to me with all of these questions in the beginning when you had them, because I feel like,
what the hell, man? You know, I'm actually, you know, I actually have answer questions. I don't even know. Maybe you forgot that you said this or whatever. But like, I'm a professional Christian. Okay, I answer Christian questions for a living. So what the fuck, man?
I could have cleared up a bunch of them for you, but I know that
I could have cleared these questions up like forever ago. I don't even know. You know what? Okay, you know, you're on your journey. Okay, and yeah, I got to respect that. But seriously, if you ever not come to me with questions again, you'll be grounded.
there is a good reason for this.
Yeah, I think it was probably a couple different reasons. One, I do think that I felt like a pressure that I wanted to not seem like I didn't believe in God, because I did believe in God,
Really?
but I was trying to understand it in my mind. It's just how my mind works. I want to be able to reason with logic. And I didn't want it to just be kind of a transplant faith from
Yeah.
my parents, just inherited. And I think that a lot of people, like,
Ah, shucks. That's what it was. That's what it ended up being. You definitely aren't using the logic, okay? The reasoning by logic.
Everyone's faith journey is different. For a lot of people, they're born in the South, they're born in the Southern church community. It's kind of the popular
What does the South thing have to do with it? It's a is Southern Christianity like different?
thing to be, and their parents are Christians, so they're saying, yes, I believe in God. And the Bible even talks about that, how God shows things to little children that the wise man can't even understand.
Oh my God. I love the parts where it's like, you need to think like I can. Okay, you're doing too much of this grown up thinking. You need to stop thinking completely. Just don't. Just can you be like a child and just whatever I say goes. Okay, stop asking questions and shit. Like just decide that I'm right. Stop.
So, but for me, it was not shown to me like when I was a little kid. I think I definitely saw the fruit of Christianity and the tenets of it through you and mom and our family and friends, and going to church and what the good that came out of that. But it
God, poor kids. I swear they have like so much. He's like right now, what he's got to do is he's like, I know that my parents are famous Christians and everything, but I came to Christianity on my own. Okay, I did. I was thinking other stuff, and then I was like, you know what, other stuff? I think you're wrong. I'm gonna go not because my parents said, because I said, you know, I was thinking this stuff. Okay, on my own.
wasn't personal to me.
Yeah.
It was just kind of the outcome of what we do, but I didn't know why it was good and why it was real.
I want to get into all the things that you have prepared.
I didn't know why it was good or why it was real. Jeez Louise. Here, I'll say it's not either of those. Like both, you're 0 for 2 of both those statements.
For this conversation, but I want to throw a little wood on the
And if
on the fire.
you want to throw some wood in somebody's something, you know what I mean? Go to adamandeve.com. That's right. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley, Brently. Get your butt some stuff. You know, throw your wood at somebody.
Of danger, and ask the question. You knew the tenets of Christianity by watching me and mom, and it's just kind of what we did, but you didn't know why. Was that because I didn't tell you why? Do you wish that I had sat down and had more Bible studies?
Are you feeling guilty right now, Kirk? Like it's because of it's my fault. It's my fault. He knew the tenets, but then he didn't know why he knew the tenets, didn't know why they were good or even true. And this is all my fault.
Or more question and answer apologetic sessions with you. Would that have been better if I had done that?
No, I don't think so. I think
no. Why not?
Because it was something that I had to discover for myself. I didn't want outside influences changing or making me think certain things. I wanted
what else? You mean inside influence, like from within your house, inside influences? No, I had to come to exactly everything that you two thought on my own, without what you thinking influencing me at all.
it to be real between me and God alone. So I studied and I listened to debates and I read the Bible, and through that process,
Hitchens kind of said he was stupid. I think he came off sounded stupid. William Lane Craig totally annihilated that guy in that debate. So, Christian, I'm Christian now.
Process over years of time, I started to have a deeper understanding, and I started to logically also be able to back up my faith.
Really? Do you even know? Okay, I would love for this guy just to be. I would love to do a Big John Steele and be like, define logic. What is it? Define it. Define what are the 3 laws of logic? Huh? Name them now. Do it. Go and see what he does. Because I guarantee he'd be like the atheists that Big John Steele debates that apparently don't know the laws of logic or how to define it. So they could sit there and he would just sit there and trip all over himself trying to be. It's the thing. It's thinkingness with your brain. Fuck, I don't. Hold on, Google. What is the definition of like shit? Okay.
Yeah. So in a sense, as a kid, I'm hearing you say that I knew what we believed as a family. We had our family rules posted on the refrigerator.
Listen to that.
Love God.
What I knew what we believed as a family. It's so like he can't even let the kid have it. He can't even be like, yeah, no, you came to believe in God and Jesus and all that stuff. Totes on your own. Okay. And then 2 seconds later, he's like, here's what we believe as a family. Because we just, us as families, we all have to think the same stuff. Because that's how fucking families go.
Family first, be kind, work hard, tell the truth. But why is what we're talking about today. You had to ask questions. Why do we believe this? Or do I believe this?
Mm-hmm.
And if I do, why do I believe it? I mean, there's some pretty crazy stuff within our faith, like a virgin conceived and gave birth. A man rose.
Or, somebody lied about it.
Was from the grave.
Again, lied about it.
This is wild stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that there was one point in my life in the journey early on where I would have probably called myself an agnostic, where I didn't know.
Where I would have? What? Had you been allowed because you weren't? Because you were in some like famous Christian family?
What I believed or why I believed what I believed. But I did know that living the Christian lifestyle led to blessing and it led to goodness and it led to
goodness,
kindness and love and faithfulness. Those tenets were there. So in my mind, logically, I was like, yes, we should live in a Christian lifestyle, but is it true what we're living by? Is the belief system and what we believe in above all God?
Well, he looks very concerned right now. He's like, I don't do you believe it's true? I hope he's going to say that he does believe it's true, not that it's beneficial, because niceness comes out of behaving like a Christian.
Is that true, or is it just kind of a system that we should follow for success?
There was a TED Talk recently.
Follow for success too. That's interesting that he said, that put it in those kind of terms, since they're always like saying that it was, because like his parents are famous Christians, right? And so that running through his mind, like, I'm going to be successful as long as I follow the family business and be a public famous atheist or public famous Christian and go against atheists or whatever, and just do the right wing grift, and then I'll be successful. He like makes it like it's a success thing. It's just weird.
A woman who said, there's no such thing as knowing truth. All that really matters is that you believe it's true. And that's enough. If you believe it, that's really the best we can do. You can't really ever know if anything is true. And I remember hearing Richard Dawkins, perhaps the most famous Darwinist today, said that he doesn't believe that Christianity is true, but he does think that the tenets of Christianity produce the best worlds. And so he wants people to believe the tenets of Christianity because
wait, worlds? Like, wait, what do you mean? Like, he's like, these 17 worlds over here, those all are pretty good because they're all following the tenets of Christianity. Now, these atheist worlds over here, I have the power to like look into different universes. I'm like the Watcher guy from, that What If show. Anyway, and atheist ones suck. Everybody's nihilists. They don't care. They're stealing from each other and then just lying about it because, there's no such thing as truth anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Because it makes them nice. It makes them kind. They're not going to kill you
Literally,
if you don't
literally the opposite.
believe.
Holy shit. Have you met a recent y'all voted for Trump and not just voted for him. You're weird about it. You're like, you're in the little cult and everything. No, not the Christian cult. That's a different one. You're in that one too, but it's, there's the Trump Christian cult. It's sort of a subset of like cult within the cult. Anyway, but no, you're not nice. You value harm. You value cruelty to people that are just different than you.
And so he wants to live in a Christian
Unbelievable.
world, but doesn't believe that it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a big,
What's up, guys? How we doing? Yeah, it's a Geo Sam. How we doing, man? Godspeed said it's neither true nor a formula for success. I agree with that. Yeah, biblical goodness. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, yeah, no, that's not a thing. I don't think. It's not. They just redefine it. They're like, no, as long as this is whatever I subjectively think my God wants everybody to behave like, then it's good. That's what makes it good. The God saying it, that alters what it is to make it good, even if it's, drowning the planet or something like that. Still like moral as long as I decide God said it.
turning point was the recognition by myself of my belief in objective morality. That in my heart, I just knew that, yeah, killing someone unjustifiably, that's pretty wrong.
Unjustifiable. You put the word unjustifiably in there, dude. Like, doesn't that's like what? Okay.
That murder and rape and adultery are wrong. And I realized that that's something innate within us. You could ask a non-believer, is it wrong to just go around murdering people or raping people or cheating on people? And they would say yes.
How do you go? Wow. Okay. I mean, the murder one I get, and the raping one definitely. And then you're just like, and just cheating on like, wow, dude, like what a jump down from like horrific to like, okay, yeah, I can see how that's bad. Like, Jesus Christ.
And so because of my belief of objective morality, you have to backsource that. Where does that come from?
Yeah.
But it's crazy that this works. I mean, I understand, don't get me wrong, like I understand why this works, right? Like, because it's an emotional thing, which he even just made kind of clear that it is an emotional thing because of the way he said it. He was like, I just know in my heart of hearts that, murdering people's bad. I know because of my heart. It said, yeah. And so the reason why that comes off that way, it seems like, is because when you ask somebody, like, why is this stuff wrong? Like, and you go, well, is it objectively wrong? And they go, well, yeah, it's got to be. And you go, why? Well, because if it's not, then that means name your horrific, evil behavior. Then that's not objectively wrong. That would mean it's just somebody's opinion that it's wrong. And I don't, that makes me feel uncomfortable. So it's gotta be objectively wrong, even though like that does not make sense at all. Like it can't, if it's objectively wrong, that means it's wrong outside of everybody's opinion. Like that it's wrong to nobody. Like, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
And that really there's only one option of where that comes from, which is a conscience. Who gave us that conscience?
Who gave us the conscience now? The only one answer is that it comes from a conscience. Next question, who gave us that? Like Jesus, the undead carpenter ghost that lives in my heart, of course. Like, who else could it possibly be?
And it's God. It has to be God. Every effect has a cause, and everything has to start from something.
Damn, dude, you're logicking hard right now, buddy. Good job. Kudos for you, man. You should go be you should go be a logic doctor like that Answers in Genesis guy. Yeah, you could knock it out of the park with that kind of logic.
What is that thing? So I looked into the Big Bang Theory, and I looked at the perspective of
Yeah, you were just an open-minded. You were like, I don't know, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. My parents, well, I don't even care what my parents think, but I'm just gonna look at it objectively.
everything came from absolutely nothing.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, well,
Yeah, that's not what anybody says that the Big Bang Theory says, man. So you didn't look at it. I'll tell you what you did look at. You looked at some weird creationist bullshit version of it just long enough for them to be like, yeah, it says like everything came from nothing. All right, and that's stupid. Hey, case closed. God's real. You know that's how you looked into it.
that doesn't really make sense. Its logic is flawed. It makes more sense to me that something or someone created the world and created us.
God, that's such a massive like jump from nothing created. Like nothing started. Like the universe came from literally zero things, like absolute nothingness started the universe too. Well, it had to be created by something. Really? Where did this something come from that created it? So nothing can create that, but nothing can't create the universe. It's got to. Yeah, so nothing can only create the creator of the universe. That's logical. Holy shit.
And then if you just look around and you look at nature, I spent 2 years out west.
Look at the trees, man. Just if you look at the trees, I mean, look at the trees.
In the middle of nowhere nature, and it's almost impossible to see the wild game and their babies and fawns and the fish in the rivers and the sky and the trees and the stars and the galaxies above you and say that there is not a design behind this, that there's not a perfect flow of this. Yes, it's brutal. Yes, it's harsh, but it's also soft and it's beautiful.
What? So wait, because this is where you get into this. Where I always think the look at the trees arguments are so interesting because they go from it's so beautiful and perfect that it had to be created. Yeah, it's fucked up and there's cancer and there's all these, parasites they get in puppies' eyeballs and shit, and all that. But it's too good to be not made by God. The reason it's bad, well, I've got a made up reason for that too. It's sin. It's a whole thing. God made the devil, and the devil, did all this thing, and she ate the apple. That's really the problem. That's where those puppy eye parasites came from. It's because of the lady eating the apple and everything. So that's it makes sense. It really does. Everything was totes perfect till that bitch ate the apple.
Something has created this, and there's no way that nothing created something like this.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%.
You're just saying the Ray Comfort thing. It's like, what does he say? Like, do you believe the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything? Yeah, puppies. He always uses puppies too as an example for some reason.
And again, I've had my seasons of doubts and questions, and the fine tuning of the universe, the origin of information, the genesis of life, all of these things don't have any good explanations, not only to me and
yeah, it's Gio said so. If God says so, then it's arbitrary. Yeah, that's what's so weird about it is like you notice how with the whole transcendental thing. I'm going to take a quick sidetrack here. But like with the transcendental argument, the whole thing is that it's arbitrary. If you go back to how logic is logical, and then you get to a point where you go, well, I can't really argue for why logic is logical using logic because then that would be circular or whatever. And they're, so it's arbitrary. You go, okay. But if you did the exact same kind of questioning, they would always get back to a point where they would be like, I don't know, God just made it to be that way. And you go, well, why would God make it that way? Because God made it that way. Like, and then it's just as arbitrary. You know what I mean? But it's just funny how they try to flip it like that because really all it ends up being is just a lack of ability or just an inability to articulate. And then they're like, haha, I got you. You can't articulate literally everything that's absolutely meaningless about logic and everything. It's kind of funny.
To you, but to some of the most brilliant people that I've ever spoken to. And that's why the God hypothesis is making a comeback within scientific circles.
Literally not a hypothesis. Like it's not even. Come on, dude. Really? I mean, I guess I'm glad they call it a hypothesis more than a theory, but I don't even feel like it rises to the level of fucking hypothesis. It doesn't explain anything. Hypotheses have to like explain stuff.
But we're talking about more than just a creator. We can discern a creator from the animals and from the starry night sky, but we're talking about a virgin birth and a resurrection and Christianity that says Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through him.
I mean, and it's a resurrection, and then he flew away into the clouds. I feel like everybody forgets that part. They act like it was just a regular resurrection. He just went off to live his life. No, he flew away into the clouds.
Did you start to examine specifics about your Christian faith?
So with the recognition of that, I do believe in a higher power.
Yeah.
That someone created all of this.
That's right. This isn't an accident.
I started to study just religion in general. You have Hinduism, you have Islam, you have Buddhism, you have Christianity.
Yeah, atheism.
You have all of these.
Atheism. Oh my God. That is so stupid. Like, atheism is not. How could atheism be a religion, man? You're like naming actual religions, and then you're like also just not believing the other ones. That's a religion.
Isms. Which one's true? So I studied all of them and I looked at the historic evidence behind them, how old they are, where did they come from. And I found that Christianity not only is historically sound, but it also aligns with what I know to be true.
That's what's always been tricky.
What? It also aligns with what I know to be true based on what your parents taught you, of course. And it's the most historically sound. Okay, like it's just not, but I mean it's the most historically studied. But that doesn't equal the same thing. They always want to act like that somehow, like, man, it's the most. I hear that a lot. You hear these like apologists. I'm like, it's the most studied book in all of history. So that means it's true because it's the most studied book. No, it's the most popular religion on the planet. That doesn't make it true. And a lot of that is because of, forcing people to believe it in a lot of different ways. But yeah, definitely just the amount of study doesn't make something true.
For me, is that how do I know I can trust my heart, my conscience? What if I'm deceiving myself? I remember I asked John MacArthur that one time outside of a movie theater. We had just watched Fireproof, and I asked him, you sound so sure about what you believe.
That is so awkward. You go to see John MacArthur had to come out of the movie, look him in the face after watching Fireproof, the movie about a fireman that felt bad about masturbating, by the way. Just want to make sure that's front and center for this whole goddamn thing. It'd have to be like, so what'd you think? What'd you think, Pastor MacArthur? It was good. The lighting was really good. I thought that was brilliant. Honey, what did you think about the lighting? Yeah, no, she likes the lighting too. There's, honestly, good lighting.
Leave. Like it's just black and white. I said, how do you know that what you believe is true? How do you know that you know that you know? We hear that in church all the time. I know that I know that I know that this is true. Ray Comfort likes to say, the man who invented the eraser on the end of the pencil knew what he was doing. Because we often make mistakes and he knows we're going to need to like change our mind on stuff. So
what is that? Okay, what? I'm so confused. you knew that you knew that you knew that it's true. And it's just like Ray Comfort always says, like you didn't even do the voice right or anything. Hey, yeah, look, the guy with the eraser. Yeah, yeah. He knew what he was doing. Like, but what does that have to do with anything, man? What the hell does an eraser have to do? Because like most people are like, shit, never mind, never mind. But like when they get to Christianity, they're like, no, this is a pen. Now I have penned this shit because now I'm sure. No eraser needed. Thank you very much. I found the right one.
I've ultimately loved the argument that you're making because at the end of the day, everyone wants to live in a certain kind of world. And there's not going to ever be any negotiating with me that it is okay to kill babies for fun or to enslave certain groups of people because of the color of their hair or their.
What? Well, unfortunately, the Bible says that it doesn't have anything to do with the color of their hair, which I don't even know why you're adding in the because it doesn't need to be there really when it comes to the enslaving people thing. But like what the fuck? It's like the Bible says that it's okay to own people as property, dude. What are you doing? Exodus 21:18-21. Like it says you can beat them. Not only does it say you can own people as property, it says you can beat the property that you own.
Skin or their gender. That's just morally wrong to the core of my being.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe, and I'm not willing to believe.
But like, because here's the thing that's so wacky. Like, if you could say, like I believe, not except for the gender, whatever that, I disagree with them on that. But like the unaliving babies for fun or whatever. Of course, I'm not talking about abortion, but like, and then slavery is wrong. All of these things, if it were like asked of me, I could say, well, because those are clearly harmful behaviors, and I believe in human well-being being something that people should respect, because you wouldn't want to treat anybody the way they wouldn't want to be treated, because that's a pretty good system, because you wouldn't, that way that they treat you the way that you would want to be treated, and so on and so forth, right? But they don't have that metric, right? They don't have that basis. The basis for them is, well, slavery is wrong because a magic said that it is, and that's it. Because it goes from, unaliving the babies thing, okay, slavery, obviously, even though it's outlined in the Bible, and then he goes to like, in gender, you got to do gender the way that I say you got to do it. If somebody wears the wrong clothes and asks for pronouns I don't like, evil. That's basically like owning somebody and beating them. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, why? Because the magic said not, says bad. I don't really have a consistent basis for why stuff is right and wrong. It's just whatever my God said, or whatever I subjectively think my God wants everybody to behave like.
That's just some moral guidelines that we made up ourselves, and that is actually not real.
Yeah.
And C.S. Lewis makes that argument all of the time. You see somebody murder somebody else or inappropriately abuse a child or a woman.
Dude, your book says that you can beat kids with sticks. It says like, hey, if you don't beat kids, that means you hate them. Okay, I know it's like, that's so backwards, it's unreal.
That is objectively wrong. But according to whose law? Even if the law of the land says it's legal to do it because it's a woman or because they're of a different race, in my heart of hearts and in yours too, that is wicked and you can't justify it. And if you did justify it, you wouldn't want your own wife or daughter to live in that society.
Yeah, I agree. And in 1 Peter 3:15,
oh, there you go. You got to give everybody a reason for stuff.
It says, but in your hearts, honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. So it says, be prepared. Be prepared to answer those questions
I know, right?
of others, to defend your faith, to defend God.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. Fortunate thoughts. The Bible is full of examples where children were killed for the most trivial shit. God is fine with unalive kids, dude. Like this is where it's insane that they could sit there and be like, oh no, like I know that these like obviously wrong things are obviously wrong. But then when you go, why? And they're like, well, because my religion says it's wrong. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. They're like, oh man, if I just said that it was somebody's opinion, well then that would be I wouldn't believe that. Whatever. And it's like, but it's your opinion about like how you subjectively interpret your book. It's all based off of an interpretation of your book, man. Like it's not objective. Jesus. It's so crazy that I don't know what it is that they get so hung up on the fucking objective thing. It's really strange. What's up, dude? Muttley Van, Eric, how you doing? So gotta love two cis white males telling women how they should live. Yep. Exactly. Praise God. God. I always want to say it like God, like that when it's written that way, like with AW. Anyway, just saying, makes me feel that way.
How can you do that if you
What are we doing? Sorry, I don't know. I was answering some comments there.
holy, always being prepared to make defense to anyone who asks
That's
you
right. Yeah.
for a reason for the hope that is in you.
Mm.
So it says, be prepared. Be prepared to answer those questions of others, to defend your faith, to defend God. How can you do that if you don't know why you believe what you believe?
Yeah.
Can you defend it? Or can you just say it and then have no rebuttal to that person?
I don't know. Christians seem to do that a lot, dude. Like, so yeah. I mean, but yeah, you're supposed to have a reason. But again, most of the time, most of the reasons are absurd, as to like why they know that this stuff. Because you can go like, okay, like, because even the reasons he gave, like, okay, even if I grant you Jesus historically, whatever, you got good reason there because of historically it's most studied, whatever you want to say. Again, nothing can't create stuff, so got to be a God. Okay, how did you land on your subjective interpretation of your denomination or of your doctrine, of your denomination, of your religion? Like, how did you get all of those? Because those things are not objective. Like it's the opposite of objective. It's like even more subjective with every different interpretation and then the sub-interpretation of the sub-interpretation of the sub-sub-interpretation of sub-sub. And it gets so stupid that they'll fucking fixate on like 4 words. Like the one version or whatever of the Bible says like in the beginning there was a God. That created like, oh my God. So that one letter, A, there in the beginning, there was a God that created him. Oh, hell no. My God's the only one. He was the only thing there. It's like, and they'll freak out over that letter. And it's like, then that'll drive division between people. And then, so it's just all like, it's so convoluted, yet they act like it's just all one thing and they all have like the same belief or even beliefs that are like somewhat similar. They're not. It's so divergent. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity for you to share the gospel.
Knowing why we believe what we believe is also the great cure to our own doubts. I remember reading that Charles Spurgeon.
See, he just made doubt a disease, dude. Like I don't know if he did that on purpose or if that was a subconscious thing, but he's like, that's how you cure the deadly disease of doubt, that thing that we like need to have so that we can live a reasonable life and not be taken for a ride by every con man on planet Earth.
One of my heroes of the faith was plagued with depression and doubt. And he began to doubt everything because he saw it as a sign and badge of intellectual honesty. I want to doubt this thing and find out whether or not it's true. And he began to doubt his faith. And he said, initially, there was a sense of freedom, a sense of liberation, no longer being tied to the creeds and the orthodoxy and the dogmatic doctrines of the faith. And it was like setting sail out onto the wild, free ocean, no longer being tied to the dock. But then he said that is when the devil foiled himself, because he then began to doubt his doubts.
The doubt. Yeah.
And
And
he
you start doubting the doubts, and then you start doubting your doubts, but then you start doubting your doubts, and you're right back. Okay. And it's crazy. It's a push and pull. It's a push and pull there, magnetic pull kind of situation.
And to question whether or not doubt was valid. And at the end of the day, he had to realize
Was like whether or not doubt was valid? What? If you're not valid to doubt stuff. What? And
that I've got to put my faith in something. And rather than putting my faith in doubts, I'm going to put my faith in Christ.
wow, dude, like this is the most insane way to think, dude. Like, no, like there's nothing else that you would think about this way. There's nothing else. There's no other claim on earth that you would be like talking about it in these kinds of terms, because this is so crazy sounding. Like you're just like, oh man, once somebody told me that the magical guy came back to life after 3 days, I was like, hold on, how do I know that's true? And then I was like, hold on, I got to put my faith in something, and I don't want my faith to be in how I don't know that the claim that a guy came back to life and then flew away into the clouds is real. Like, I don't want to put my faith in that. I gotta believe it. I gotta believe the guy came back to life and then flew away into the clouds and is going to come back at the end of time with the sword tongue and fire eyes and bronze skin. Even though that's probably that's bad having bronze skin on. I'm actually against that, just in principle. People just having skin that color.
Who saves my soul, answers the questions of my heart, and builds the world.
Because I'm a Trump supporter. That was the point of that part of the job. I feel like I didn't complete the sentence there. It kind of just made it sound like I'm a racist. I'm not. I'm fine with brown skin, but Trump supporters aren't.
Want to live in.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And in Acts 17, verse 11, which Luke is writing, and it is a message from Paul heard by the Bereans.
Yeah.
It says, now the Bereans.
What the fuck? Okay. Sound like he was trying to keep up with that. He's like, it's on the whiteboard right behind me. Remember who's saying it? Luke. That's right. Okay. Who's he writing it to? That's Paul. That's why the little mail, the little envelope that's in the arrow. That's too. Okay. And then who's watching? The little eyeballs next to what word? Very good. Okay, I'm gonna just keep this up behind me so that you can, when we get to that part of the podcast, you'll have all your information there.
Were of more noble character, for they received the message with great eagerness and examined the scriptures every day to see if what Paul said was true.
Right, they're examining it, they're critiquing it, they're verifying that what Paul's saying is true. So that if they believe what Paul's saying, they'll know why they believe it.
Yeah, and I believe that through that, it wasn't...
What? Oh, hold on. So you're saying, like, if we could just read these scriptures, and then then I can know if what Paul's saying is true. See, like, they were not the best thinkers back then, man, especially when it comes to epistemology. Holy shit.
That they were going into hearing Paul and what he was saying...
What?
With the mindset.
They were going into hearing Paul? What the fuck?
Of questioning it or having doubts about it. But they were doing their due diligence in seeing if it was true and aligned with the truth, which is the scriptures.
That.
Hold on. We got to hear that again. Did I lose track of what he was saying, or did he?
But they were doing their due diligence in seeing if it was true and aligned with the truth, which is the scriptures.
That reminds me of
the truth, which is okay.
What Ronald Reagan.
You're just deciding that scriptures are truth, and then just seeing if what he said was in alignment with it. Holy shit, man. That again, not great thinkers back then.
Would always say, trust.
Or now. Or now. You know what? I don't think I need to put a timestamp on when there was bad thinking. There's just sort of always been and continues to be.
But verify. Trust, but verify.
Hold on.
with the truth, which is the scriptures.
That reminds me of what Ronald Reagan would always say, trust, but verify. Trust, but verify. You probably...
What? Ronald Reagan always said that? Why? What was he lying about?
know this. Where are the stories of Jesus being questioned by the religious leaders, and he would correct them, and then he would verify what he's saying by going back to the scriptures?
One of those moments was when the Pharisees asked Jesus if it was all right for a man to divorce his wife. We can take a look at that in Matthew 19.
Let's take a look at that. Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's just, why don't I just take a little gander? Yeah, why don't you, let's just turn with me in your Bible there. And let's see what's going on here. Let's see what the big JC was doing. Not the KC. That's my dad, Kirk Cameron. But no, the JC. That's different.
In verses 3 through 9, it says, the Pharisees asked, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any reason? And Jesus responded and said, haven't you heard that at the beginning?
God, Jesus was so sassy. You know, haven't you heard? Hello. Haven't you heard that it's actually
the Creator made male and female?
What?
Any reason? And Jesus responded and said, haven't you heard that at the beginning the Creator made male and female? For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. And then the Pharisees questioned him again, and Jesus responded. The Pharisees said, why did Moses command that a man give his wife a certificate of divorce and send her away? And then Jesus responded, Moses permitted you to divorce your wives because your hearts were hard. But it was not that way from the beginning. I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality and marries another woman commits adultery. He responded to the questions of the Pharisees with the truth of Scripture.
Yeah.
Because he had a knowledge.
It sounded like he was making stuff up, man. Like it wasn't, he responded to it with the truth of the Scripture. They were asking, like, well, then what? They were actually using Scripture to question him. They're like, well, look, if it's such an evil thing, why did Moses permit it or whatever? And then Jesus was like, hey, it's because people are bad. People are just bad, all right? And God had to work around that, okay? So he permitted some badness, all right? But it still is bad. So, yeah, take that. What do you think about that? Totally explain that shit, huh? That's what I thought.
Of that, because he studied the law of Moses. And he studied.
He's God. What? I like his face. Like, Jesus needed to study? Is that what he's saying? Or is he talking about Paul? I hope he's talking about Paul, but I kind of feel like he's talking about Jesus. Hold on.
And marries another woman, commits adultery. He responded to the questions of the Pharisees with the truth of Scripture.
Yeah.
Because he had a knowledge of that, because he studied the law of Moses.
Jesus studied the law of Moses. He didn't invent the law of Moses or anything, being that he's fucking God.
And he studied the scriptures of the past. Because he had an understanding of that, he was able to defend his faith.
God, I love how this is like a perfect example of the way that, like, as long as you talk with a certain voice, with certain inflections, then you can be a Christian and say anything. And that's right. Amen. 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 That's it. Yeah, because it's like they could just say anything. That it doesn't have to mean anything. They could just like act like what they're saying is impactful and charismatic, and then just decide that it is.
He was able to defend his teachings, which are the teachings in which we believe now today, because he was able to do that.
See what I
And
mean?
he was
It's just like it's nothing. Hold on.
The law of Moses.
Sorry,
And he studied
last time.
the scriptures of the past.
Studied the past script, not the current, not the present ones that are currently being written that we will star in one day, not those. The past ones.
Because he had an understanding of that, he was able to defend his faith. He was able to defend his teachings, which are the teachings in which we believe now today, because he was able to do that.
And he was also quoting the very scriptures that should have opened the eyes of the Pharisees, but they didn't have eyes to see. They didn't have ears to hear. Their heart
Oh my God.
was long since hardened. And if we know those scriptures,
And
it
if
not-
you have long since been hardened, just go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley, and you can do something about your hardenedness. Yeah. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley and check out the gift 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley. Okay.
not only calm
What's up, Mary? Did I see Mary? Hold on. So I'm like using limited screens today because my other computer was like updating. So I'm having to do everything with just one. Mary, how you doing, Mary? What's going on? Let me make sure I got other, if there's anybody else saying, hey. Tilted Windmill, how you doing? What's up? Mary. And then we got, like I said, hey to Fortune Thought. What's going on? Yeah, that's it. All right, cool. No, yeah, like I said, like the other, it's ready now, but it was of course like updating for like 7 hours. Though he's white, so I can imagine that, that's to be expected. Okay. I mean, that's just, you might as well just be on like, you might as well just be like, and water's actually like wet and stuff. So yeah, no, but anyway, all right.
calms down our own doubts and fears by answering the questions, it also hopefully brings the unbeliever closer and closer to Christ. So I think it's great to ask questions. I think it's great to inquire.
You picking your nose? Don't pick your nose. Just wait. Wait until the cameras are done. I get it. I do it all the time. I almost pick, but then I remember there's a camera there. Okay. And I don't want to be, knuckle deep. Yeah, in my face.
Whether or not these things are actually true.
Gotta watch out, too. That's how you get staph infection. That's staph up there. Okay, you got to be careful. Don't definitely don't. Do like pull it out and then do one of these. That's how you get pink eye. Okay, not saying a friend had an issue with that.
True? Do they line up with the scriptures? Do these things we believe line up with what innately we know is right and true? Do these things line up with God's creation? These are all great questions to ask, I believe. And I believe that
Do these things line up with God's creation? What? How does that make it? Like, what do you even? I don't even understand the fucking questions here.
that God loves when his children wrestle with these difficult things and ask good questions.
And if you love doing a little bit of wrestling, right? Maybe a little domination, a little dominatrix type stuff, right? But like wrestling style, go to adamandeve.com. They got all the toys to make your wrestling time very special, extra special, really. Anyway.
And I think that on top of what you're saying, it also gives you the ability to then evangelize to others well. Once you understand these things and put yourself in the shoes of others and you work through these problems in your own head, you're not looking upon the unbeliever as just a pagan who doesn't want to believe because they love their sin so much.
Dude, what do you think pagan means? I don't think they know what pagan means. I bet you they think like atheist equals pagan. Like those are the same thing.
You're looking at them as, I understand why you're saying what you say. and this is why you're wrong.
Yeah, that's why I totally get that. Every single time that I interact with Christians, specifically fundamentalist ones, I always get that they understand, that they know where I'm coming from. Okay. They've thought about it from my perspective. That's never what I get ever. They've never thought about it, like even close to it, like at all.
You're giving them an actual reason. You're not just condemning them.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes there are problems of logic that can be corrected by doing exactly what you're saying. And then, of course, there's other problems of the heart. It's I remember R.C. Sproul.
I think he moves away from it. There's other problems of logic. I'm not going to talk about that at all, but there's problems of the heart, really. That's where I'm going to zero in. I'm going to zero in the problems of the heart, not the logic thing, because I don't understand it at all.
Once said that he has found over the years and years of talking with unbelievers that their biggest problem is not an intellectual problem, it's a moral problem. It's not that they don't see the evidence, it's not that the logic doesn't work out for them. In fact, they'll take leaps.
It's just that they just don't want to believe in whichever God you do, because somehow they magically know the rules of whatever your interpretation is of your God, and they don't want to follow those rules, whatever they might be, even though they don't know what the fuck they are. No, man, it's not how it works.
In logic and believe that everything came from nothing. Why? Because they like sleeping with their girlfriend over the weekend. They don't want.
How would they know that that's a bad thing, man? Like that, not all Christians think that's a bad thing.
Somebody being the moral police of their private life. And that's the big hurdle. And so I think that by
again, like, it's so funny. It's so funny how they can literally be like, he can say, the kiddo, I have no idea what the kid's name is. But like he can say, yeah, it's like, you actually get it, right? When you've asked these questions, you could see where they're coming from. You're not just some evil sinner that just doesn't want to believe because you just want to keep sinning. And I'm just going to decide that that's true. No, you get it. You get it. You come at it. Holy shit. And then they immediately 2 seconds later, like, the only reason you believe is because you want to keep sinning. You want to sleep with your girlfriend over the weekend. That's your problem. That's why you don't. Holy shit, man.
Understanding why we believe what we believe, which comes down to our conscience. I know that I've sinned against God. I want my sins forgiven. How can a just God just pardon sinners like you and me when we violated his law? And if he's just, he's got to punish us.
Even though he won't, as long as you just say you're sorry to the wizard and just think. If you just think, like, as long as you think about a torture murder from 2,000 years ago, you're good to go. Okay. But you better, you just say you're sorry too, though. The whole thing doesn't make sense if you're going to sit here and try to say that it's all about justice, man. Be like, hey, perfectly just God, he's got to punish the bad stuff, even though that's not part of it at all. Like, just not believing is worse than like mass unalivement.
Or the gospel, where Christ takes our punishment upon himself. Now, my heart's filled with gratitude, and I don't want to sin over the weekend. I want to honor God every single day of the week.
Yeah, and I think that a good question that we just could ask ourselves as believers is, if our faith can't stand up and survive questioning, how is it going to survive when you go through crisis, when life comes down on you?
That's right.
He kind of looks like that singer kid, doesn't he? He has that face. It's like he has this face. The baby, oh, that was terrible. Can we cut that? Let's cut just the whole singing part. I'm not even gonna try to do something so that people know what singer I'm talking about. We'll just move on from that. Actually, just cut out this, me even asking about the singer thing. He doesn't look like anybody at all.
Right.
If you can't even defend it or stand on the truth of what you believe, when somebody questions you, what happens when a loved one dies? What happens when you feel betrayed by someone else? When a crisis comes on your life, you don't even know the answers or the reasons why you believe what you believe.
That's right.
What? What does it have to do? What does it have to do with, like, bad things happening, when you like lose somebody and stuff. What is that? How does that affect the truthfulness of a particular claim at all? Hold on. Am I misunderstanding?
Loved one dies. What happens when you feel betrayed by someone else?
If what though?
Or stand on the truth of what you believe when
Yep.
somebody questions you. What happens?
Oh, okay. So he said, if you can't even stand on the truth when somebody just questions you, what are you going to do when everything turns to shit? Okay. You're going to fall apart. You're going to be an atheist. That's what you're going to do. Yeah. Because you didn't just, I don't know, I guess decide that you're right so hard that nothing can ever get you to question anything, or at least move further with your questioning. Like you do the questioning, or say that you do the questioning, but just enough so that you could say that you've got the answers for the questions that you've got, because you didn't actually ever really question to begin with.
When a loved one dies, what happens when you feel betrayed by someone else? When a crisis comes on your life, you don't even know the answers or the reasons
You don't even know
why you believe what you believe.
That's
which
right.
I think it's very, very important that we understand these things to move through life healthy and happy and flourishing.
He starts sentences without knowing what how he's gonna, you know what I mean? Like he starts the sentence and it's just like he gets like halfway through and he's like, I know that because I'm on a podcast, I have to finish this thought thoroughly. And shit. Just like, and then he just bumbles his way through the other half of it.
Based on a worldview.
Amazing.
That's right. That's right, James. I think I couldn't agree with you more. I think that there are I think there's some silly questions like could God create a rock so big he couldn't lift it?
That's a silly, that is a silly question. Like, my God, like, of course he thinks that's a silly question. Because he doesn't understand the problems with being all powerful is just a concept, and how illogical that concept actually is.
Anything,
Yeah.
Or where did Cain get his wife? Or did Adam have a belly button? Right, because there's no umbilical cord from his mother. Right,
but hold on, you can't just skip over the where did Cain get his wife from thing, man. Like, where did Cain get his wife? I thought there was 3 people on the planet, and like, what the that's actually a good question. Like, God created Adam and Eve, right? They they got kicked out of the garden, yada yada yada. Again, only people on the planet. Then they have kids. One kid kills the other kid. Then the kid that's left goes off and gets married in a city where, he had to have a mark put on him, because all those other people out there, if he doesn't have the mark, they'll kill him. Other fucking people. What? There's nobody out there. How did he even get married, let alone need some kind of mark to not get killed by all those other people? Like, goddamn, it makes no sense. Like, so hard.
But then there's more significant questions like, what is the beginning of the universe? How did we get here?
Yeah.
Who are we? Where?
You've just decided that you know the answers to them. Like, those aren't even really questions to you. Those are just you've already decided the answer to all those. And it's just so obvious if you do any kind of thinking.
Where are we going? And then important questions.
Why do bad things happen to good people?
Exactly. And I think that's the biggest one that we all have to be able to wrestle with.
Yeah.
Why does God allow children
There you go.
to
really get in there with the children? Cancer.
Terribly injured and hurt.
Or that too, sure.
And other things like that on his watch. If he's truly loving
or watching, because he's not watching.
And powerful and good. And there are answers to these questions. The scriptures say that
we did an episode on that.
Oh man, okay. That was funny. Hold on. He was like, and there are answers to these questions out there in the ether somewhere. Somebody's got them. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna
thing and powerful and good. And there are answers to these questions.
Why does God need 4 skin? That's what I was thinking. With God, it's actually a 7 skin. It's a different, because he's God. you know, and God's number 7. It's a 7 scale.
The scriptures say
actually
that
did an episode.
Let's cut that. Let's cut that joke. That was really dumb. That was like, wow, my dad's coming through. It's wow, unbelievable.
On that.
That's right. That episode of the Kirk Cameron Show is called "Why Does God Allow Suffering?" We have to be able to answer questions like this. So God's not afraid of your hard questions. I believe he delights in his children when they ask so that they can know why.
Science, I like that. Godspeed said, science explains our world, and superheroes show us how to live in it. That's right. That it shows us how to be a better person than anything the Bible could possibly communicate.
They believe what they believe. Now, I want to give a disclaimer warning to anyone who is looking at seriously questioning the tenets and foundations of their faith.
Amber, how we doing, Amber? What's going on? Doing all right? There is so much evidence somewhere out there, probably. Anyway, I don't have it that I can present or anything. It's out there though. You just, if you just really believe in your heart first, and then ask God for the evidence, and then just look around and confirm your bias, you will one day decide that what you did decide was true is actually true after you've started looking for the evidence that you've decided you're going to find. It's crazy that I make that joke, but like that is literally what that's literally like 90% of like Christians' arguments for like atheists.
There are safe ways to do that, and there are dangerous ways to do that. The dangerous way to do it.
What's up, Michael? How you doing? That's 0.0%. I imagine that's a percentage. Is it? Yeah, it's a percent. Evidence, yes.
Is by putting yourself under the authority.
Oh, it's just the amount. It's just the amount, not a percentage of the evidence. Got it.
And the teaching of someone who is angry with God.
Damien, how you doing?
With somebody who mocks the Bible. If you do that, you risk deconstructing your faith, like sadly many have done. And
it's not sad. It's phenomenal, dude. You don't even get it, how awesome it is. It makes your life so incredible. It doesn't, but you don't have to be hating yourself and feeling bad for thinking thoughts and stuff anymore. So that's pretty cool. You can also not be choosing to do very unhealthy things all the time because you think you don't deserve to have good, healthy or happiness because you were born into sin and think you're a piece of trash and everything. So you got to behave like a piece of trash would. And people tend to behave in ways that they believe themselves to be, that's what it does. Which means like a person that was believing that they are a piece of trash would behave like however they think a person that's a piece of trash would behave. So drugs and alcohol, anyway, all that because of your religion.
And you will shipwreck your soul. So I would say question your faith with a great spiritual guide.
What are those, Mary? I can't. They're little purple. They look like little purple. Are those little purple people eaters? I can't. No, they got 2 eyes. Because little like purple people eaters only have 1 eye, right? And a big weird tooth right in the front, right? What are those? They're from Gattaca. I don't know what they are.
A person of the faith that you trust and respect, who will validate your questions. They won't brush them off, and they will work through them with you.
I gotta say, he did that super gay. Hold on, let's see that.
You trust and respect.
That was probably one of the gayest things I've seen on this.
Who will validate your questions. They won't brush them off, and they will work through them with you.
They won't brush them off. Seriously, like
you. Intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, archaeologically, but do it with your feet firmly planted on the things that you know are true in your head, in your heart, and in the scriptures.
In your butt. Oh, I thought he was going to say in your butt. That would have been awesome.
Scriptures. Ask why.
I guess it doesn't really go. I don't know why I expected him to say that. It doesn't really track with anything else he's saying, but it would have been great though.
Hey, we should believe these things are true if you don't yet know, but don't do it with no safety ropes attached. We've seen many people get absolutely lost.
And well, I'm sorry, I was gonna end, and I lost it. Ever said that Kirk was super in to Ray's banana thing. So I mean, who's that into bananas? If you know what I mean, right? It's like seriously, to give that a little bit of thinking.
And they don't recover. So take this as a word
And he clearly didn't, because of
advice. Find a worthy Sherpa.
Oh,
and
it's space aliens. Okay. What are they the purple people eating kind? Because I feel like that is one of the subsets of space alien. I think where did the purple people eater come from? Was it a magic? Did he come out of a book or something? Kevin doesn't know. I don't even know why the fuck I ask you anything. Okay, just breathe. Just breathe. We're gonna have to do a mindfulness meditation after this. With maybe a little some incense. I'll put the little Buddhist guy on the YouTube channel.
And if you're gonna venture into Mordor and you're gonna face the Balrogs, who are gonna try to just incinerate your faith, do it carefully.
I thought he was gonna say face. I don't know why. I thought he was just gonna incinerate your face, bro. Like, hold up.
You're into Mordor and you're gonna face the Balrogs, who are gonna try to just incinerate your faith. Do it carefully and make sure that your heart and your mind are safe and settled.
Safe and settled.
With the things that you know are true.
Yeah, I think essentially what you're saying.
What? I don't think anybody knows. Even them, especially them, knows what they're saying. Like they're so lost. It seems.
Is let your faith or let your questions lead you deeper in your faith, not take you further away from it.
No
Essentially,
shit. Really? We're doing biblical aliens on Sunday. Oh hell yeah! I'll have to check that out. That's gonna be fun. Biblical aliens, love it. The Balrog was in Moria. You noob! Come on, man. Learn your fucking fantasy books, you idiot.
question in a direction. Question towards God.
Yep.
To have a deeper understanding of God, not to get away from God.
Yeah.
So you got to ask the questions that decide that all the answers are already what you've decided they are. That's how you ask questions. Okay. You ask them in a way that is just deciding that all of the magical claims and everything are true. Then ask all the questions you want. Okay. But don't you dare ask is God even real type of question? Because that's the wrong way to ask questions.
And if you're questioning God himself and you're not sure, wow, now I would say,
whoa. I mean, that is bad question asking right there. That is, don't do it.
Just look within the very depths of your soul. The scriptures say that God has placed eternity in your heart and that you have a...
Hey, Ryan, how we doing? What's going on? Yeah, only ask questions that are convenient and safe. That's right.
Conscience that he has given you, and he's given you knowledge of good and bad and right and wrong. He's hard.
It's so weird when they like good and bad. He gives you knowledge of good and bad. Like instead of saying right and wrong, he says good and bad. Like, my God.
Wired it into you. Once you begin to question those very...
And if you want somebody's wire in you, go to adamandeve.com. In your butt, specifically. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout. Get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley. Yeah, sure. Why not? It works.
basic things, now you're in dangerous territory because you're essentially planting your feet in midair, looking for up or down. And all of a sudden, nothing will make sense. And then you'll begin to.
Yeah, stuff really makes way more extra sense when you believe that an undead carpenter ghost lives in you because a woman made of a rib was convinced by a talking snake to eat a magical fruit, and that's why God had to sacrifice himself to himself in order to convince himself to save the world from himself. That's when you're dealing with facts, bro. Okay, you can't, you will never get confused.
Invent realities.
That's not what you're doing.
And you'll end up having to put your faith in something that requires blind faith and has no evidence for it whatsoever.
Unlike all of the stuff I just said.
So be careful and ask all the honest questions you want.
Other than the ones that question, that God is real. My God, how do you do this? It's incredible. They're just like, don't ask questions. And then they like get to the end of his sentence and he's like, so that's why you should ask questions. Like, are you fucking nuts, man?
I want to tell you a story about my friend Steve, who started
Oh, good. I love Steve.
a ministry called Red Truck Men. This is in the
Oh, not that Steve. God, I hate that guy. He's the word in that red truck too. I know that one.
Carolinas, but it's busting at the seams.
Sure.
There are dozens of men's breakfasts that are attracting fathers and grandfathers and sons of communities. And
They're tracting. What did he just say? What? What?
this is in the Carolinas, but it's busting at the seams. There are dozens of men's breakfasts that are attracting fathers and grandfathers and sons.
What the fuck is tracting? Is that a word that I don't know? Ryan, what is tracting? What is that? Is that a thing that people know about? What does that mean?
Of communities, and it's literally transforming them because
Right. It's like, I don't know. I don't go to men's breakfasts. I don't, the eggs were too dry and they asked me to leave. So couldn't really.
they're gathering for breakfast around the Word of God, campfires, and they're discussing what it means to be great husbands and fathers, men of
Campfires at a breakfast?
honor, and passing down the legacy of faith to their sons and to their grandsons. And apparently, a very well-known pastor who is connected with lots of resources has become familiar with Red Truck Men and wants to expand it nationally and take it all across America because every community.
Why is it red truck? What is that? Dude? That is so weird. What the hell? What does it say? Creating a culture. Oh, creating a culture of honor by digging holes and cutting wood and driving in red trucks. Apparently, it was I love it. The establishment is like 2 years ago. It's like established 2021. It was like, less than 5 years ago. Whatever. Okay, we established it at a time, and there's the date.
Needs a band of brothers for you to join, for me to join. Check out Red Truck Men. It's absolutely awesome. I'm hearing about people who are saying that my men's group at my church is good, but Red Truck Men is transforming our town, our community. Guys that don't even go to church.
Everybody's like, campfire breakfasts are how you get the crispiest bacon. That's right. That's good. You put it on you poke it with a stick, like a marshmallow. Is that how you do it? You just hang it there in the fire.
Are coming to hear the word of God because it's in a context of authentic believers who want to actually download their faith into their daily routines and change things. Check out redtruckmen.org.
How the hell does that work? It's you want to download your faith into your daily routines to make it better,
Truckmen.org and join a breakfast today.
Red Truck Men. And definitely don't go to, you got to make sure you get the .org, okay? redtruckmen.com. Very different. Okay, you got to be, you got to get ready for the peepers there. because even when they ask you if you're 18, there's some images that pop up there that you got to be ready for. All right. And it's dudes getting nailed by dudes in trucks. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Kirk Cameron Show. Thanks for joining me and James for this dangerous
Original title of the show too there, by the way, dude.
conversation. James?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified when the next episode comes out. And leave me a comment in the comment section below so we can read that on a
Just you. Just leave me a comment. Dad can fuck off. Okay, y'all can interact with me.
future Monday episode. Have a good day.
Have a nice day. You as well. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. That dude is nuts. Crazy to like. I'm so glad though that he does that show, because what is this? Oh, he brought other people on now. The truck guy built a studio. Oh my God. We're gonna have to watch a few seconds of that. And look, Tucker Carlson is just like on a list. He's just like blazing through his list of fucking apologists now, because I guess he saw that's where the base is at, right? So he brought on Lee Strobel. Is it? No, not Lee. That's Stryber. No, Lee Stryber. Oh, wait, no, this is Leave Strobel, not Lee Stryber. Fuck, I can't. I always mix them up. I don't know who. It's one of the two people whose names sound similar to what one of those. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, I lost track of what I was saying. Wait. Oh, but Michael Knowles also went on there. So there's that. But there was something else I was going to talk about. Shit. And I lost it. Well, hold on. I gotta watch this for a second. I'm so look at the way they're all standing there. That is just amazing. Just starting out. Episode 440. Fuck what? Angels, demons, and aliens. Oh God, I almost want to do this whole episode. Hold on, I'll see how it is. We gotta watch it.
Oh yeah. Good afternoon.
I love how like unprofessional it is already. So many of these like backwoods dude type people, they get like so much money so they can build like an entire studio, but then they don't really know how to do anything. They're just like, whatever, just like click play. Hey, did you click play yet? You did? Okay. All right. Howdy. I'm going to go with hi. Let me just say, hi, everyone. How are you? That was good, right? Yeah, I liked it.
Children of the Corn. What was that? Was that a movie or?
Yeah, that was a movie.
Scary movie?
Wait, they made a book out of that? They made a book out of that movie there? Jesus Christ.
Movie?
Yeah. Had
Was
old
that a movie? Oh my God.
Malachi in it.
Okay.
Malachi.
That was an old movie?
Yeah, it was the 80s.
Lord of the Flies was a book, right?
So was oh my God. Wow.
They made a TV movie. Out of it.
Unbelievable.
Old Piggy was one of the characters.
Did you ever read it, Chill?
Mm-mm.
That was mandatory reading, I think, when I was going through school. Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, I went to private school.
What what were they talking about in the kids of the corn or children of the corn? Like, what was that starting out about? They call it in a movie. It's a Stephen King. That's what I was trying to say. It's a Stephen King book, man. Of course it was a book.
That is true. You guys are reading good Christian books.
Pilgrim's Progress or something.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was the dumbest. That is, I want to say, the dumbest like Christian fantasy fucking anything that's ever been created. So cheesy. But I was homeschooled, and I remember the funny thing about this is like I remember my mom going on full fucking tirades about that book, about Lord of the Flies being required reading, and how much that traumatized her Now she wants me, to read about the demons that are hiding behind every fucking corner and everything, and that's supposed to be not traumatizing. But like a fictional book about kids, in the wilderness or whatever, having to survive and making their little tribes and going to get whatever, that book. That's traumatizing. And she was just appalled that it was required reading for high schoolers. So what if I just like, wow.
Welcome, everyone. It's amazing how things that are on my mind, they just come out of my mouth sometimes.
That is totally amazing. I don't even know, how does that even work, man? Like what's in your mind comes out your mouth. I'm confused. This is crazy.
That'll get you in trouble a lot of times. Let's give y'all a life tip here.
He is so uncomfortable with this. He's like, I feel better in my truck. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is wow, I'm so uncomfortable.
Should have saved this for the Patreon lesson of the week. Really.
I can use it.
Give y'all a life tip here. Many times there are things in your mind that you're ruminating on.
What's up, John? How we doing? What's going on? David. What's up, David? So, hello, John. Is that how you said it? Is that why you spelled it ELLO? Oh, it's just a miss. You just missed the key, didn't you? You just accidentally just didn't push the key. You were just typing with both hands real fast, and never mind.
That shouldn't come out of your mouth because they're just not ready to come out of your mouth, right?
Or might never be ready. Never even should ever come out.
They may never be ready. That's exactly right.
What?
So just
Said the movie Lord of the Flies was right after the Second World War. Holy shit. What was it like in the 1940s? I know my dates. I know my wars. Okay. Don't look at me like that. All right. 1940. When was World War II? It was in the 30s, right? That was with them. You don't know your dates either. Okay. You know what? God damn it.
a tip for y'all. If you don't know, I think Blake said it before, even a fool is thought wise if he'll keep his mouth shut.
That's what the Bible
Yeah,
says.
Blake said that.
Yeah, you will know a fool.
I don't think that's what the Bible says. What? The Bible says it is better for he in him to allow people to believe that he is stupid rather than to open his mouth and remove all doubt. That's right. That's right. That's First Stevens 15:437.
Fool by his many words. So I was just being foolish there because some reason I was thinking about Children of the Corn and it just came right out of my mouth.
How dare you? What are you are acting really weird, man. Why don't you just bring it down a notch? You seem really uncomfortable. Why don't you relax? Just take some breaths.
So, well,
Hold on.
I was just being foolish there.
I
'Cause
was being
some reason I was thinking about Children of the Corn and it just came right out of my mouth.
right out.
Welcome everyone to Monday meeting. We're
Right out of out of the mouth there. Welcome to the Monday. The thing there.
glad you're here. We got a special episode coming for y'all on Wednesday with Brooke and I. We sat down and recorded this past weekend just to check back in with y'all. Took some good questions from YouTube, her YouTube channel that she has now grown into a little community for people who like to see me doing stupid stuff and interact.
Wait, what channel is this? I want to see some stupid stuff. Can we watch besides this, of course, that's wow, really stupid. But I want to know what that channel is.
In that way. But it was a good episode. So that'll be dropping on Wednesday for you guys. Today is Monday meeting where we are in the book of Matthew and nigh done with the book of Matthew. I don't know how.
What?
Well, we can know.
What? Well, it's not done on the book of Matthew. What?
Where we are in the book of Matthew and nigh done with the book of Matthew.
Dude, he is so fucking nervous. He is so bad at this. He's like, no, I made another mistake. Oh my goodness gracious. We are done. Actually, I don't even know why I said that. It's another one of them open your mouth things and your brain falls out of your face. That didn't even sound right the way I'm saying it. Not I didn't know you're picturing like an actual brain coming out of my mouth down. Oh my god, this is so bad. I don't can we just it's Monday, y'all. I got that right? At least, right. Yes, I did.
I don't know how. Well, we got some pages left. Never mind.
I was wrong about being wrong. I'm so fucking nervous. There's too many people being recorded with me. I'm so oh yeah.
Turning pages here.
3 full chapters.
Yeah, I'm turning pages here,
At least
boys.
6 weeks.
Well, if Chad can miss a week, Monday or two, we'll get on through that.
And we have got some big things coming in the book of Matthew. I mean,
The biggest.
yeah, the
the
passion.
culmination of everything.
It really is the
And
great.
if you want some nation with everything, go to forget that was bad. Cut that. Yeah, let's cut that. Yeah, that sucked. That was I don't even know where I was gonna go with that. I don't even know how that was going to work into an ad. It just anyway.
Greatest event in the history of mankind is coming here in the book of Matthew. Now, I don't know how on earth you guys got through all of chapter 25 on the last Monday meeting while I wasn't here.
Because we didn't spend any time talking about children of the corn. we
Oh,
started saying, hey,
Oh man, just keep bringing it up, man. Keep bringing
this
up.
is my
Keep bringing up your mistake that you're so embarrassed about. That'll make the embarrassment go away. That's what that does.
Monday
That is
meeting.
true.
Kick
We-
it off, Chili.
We didn't at all.
Nonetheless, I mean, to get through a whole chapter, I mean, for real.
That guy over there is like, I gotta say some words, Bench. I'm on a podcast now. I'm here too.
Real man. I did hear, apparently, maybe the listeners already know this because I didn't go back and listen to the last Monday meeting, but apparently Paris James is reformed.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well-
he follows the Westminster.
Westminster Confession.
Yeah.
Westminster. There's a town called Westminster.
Yeah. He affirms that. And so he kind of divulged all that on the last meeting of the second rates.
It just kind of
Oh my
depends,
God,
though.
they're all like
He's not set in stone per se.
Well, if he's got a mic, he is.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
no, yeah, the opposite then of what I said. That's what I was meaning. But that's what I'm saying. You misunderstood that I was actually saying the opposite of what I was saying.
Rates.
It just kind of depends, though. He's not set in stone per se.
Well, if he's got a mic, he is.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Fucking these people are God, they're uncomfortable. They're making me uncomfortable. I'm just like, oh my God. Oh yeah. It's my hat looks it's crooked. I'm gonna oh man, what if I went the whole show? The crooked hat. Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he has a mic, he is, because he realizes when he tries to articulate any case in defense of free will that it falls flat.
He told
But
me.
he can mull it over in his mind, but then you put a mic in front.
Get him a mic.
Hey, it's going to be interesting though. We have Pastor
Good one, man. Getting him in the mic. Dude, that was awesome, man. Good one, man.
I don't know how to say his first name. Do you know Leighton? Leighton.
Leighton Flowers.
Leighton Flowers is coming on the podcast, Lord willing.
I can't say his name because it's too Latin.
Toward the end of the month, and obviously he has he is completely unreformed. Well, I don't even know if that's the word.
What the fuck is reformed, man? What is you? Does that mean like not a Calvinist? Is that or does that mean Calvinist? What? Because then he's going off about free will. Is reform? What the fuck? Hold on, I gotta look this up now. Reformed what though? Like I feel like I need some Google's being like reformed. What? Like because it's not gonna. Hold on. What is reformed? Christian? Oh, theology, maybe. A Protestant Christian theological tradition stemming from Protestant Reformation, emphasizing God's absolute sovereignty over creation and salvation, the authority of the Bible as the sole source of doctrine, and salvation by grace alone through faith in Jesus Christ. Key elements include tulip. Wait, what? I can't be right. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, total depravity, unconditional election, limited atonement, irresistible grace. You can't make all the letters mean something if you're going to add extra words into it. Doesn't that ruin the whole thing? You know, when you have like each letter representing a word, it can't be each 2 words. That doesn't make any sense. Then it would be a completely different word. No, but you know what? But total depravity, unconditional election, limited atonement, irresistible grace, perseverance of the saints, covenant theology. I don't understand it, but I mean, I guess did it have something to do with free will? Because it's like I'm seeing unconditional election. Doesn't that like kind of needle at not having free will? I don't know. I don't even know why I'm asking this question. What am I doing?
For it, but
Is he
It's all made up. Who cares?
coming in person?
he's coming in person.
Cool.
And he did a hour-long video
Treats us.
in rebuttal to the things that I shared on the podcast with Joe Rogan, and I haven't listened to it yet because I really can't stand to hear myself talk on a mic.
I get it. I have no idea how all those hundreds of thousands of people do it with you every day. But I'm with you, bud.
On a recording. So no disrespect to him. I probably will go back and listen to it before he comes on the podcast. But he's going to present his interpretation of what the scriptures are saying here. It's not going to be a debate. I don't want it to be a debate. I just want to hear him out. Because what is important to me is that we all have conversations.
Doesn't that look like the fucking Rancid album? The guitar on the back here looks like the one. Oh shit! And now I can't think of what it's called. Was it just the self-titled? No, that was the first album. Damn, it looks like that one Rancid album that is just all black, has the skull on it, and it like has the letters like surrounding the sides. You know. Anyway, I don't know what it's called. It's not Life Won't Wait. No. That was before it.
In a way that we can arrive at a place that's closer to the truth. And so if I'm missing something, this man who is very smart, he's a PhD. If I'm missing something,
What's up, Anarchic Fox? How you doing? No, I was just gonna wait for you to say something, but we'll move on. You can put it in the chat.
I want to hear him out, and I just want to be able to ask him questions along the way. I'm really looking forward to that conversation, man.
That sounds like it sounds like you're gonna debate. That's what it sounds like. And he's like, I don't want to debate. No, I'm not saying that. No. I want him to come here not expecting a debate. I'm just gonna ask questions. Okay. I'm just, that's all I'm saying I'm gonna do. Okay. So we disagree. We come at this things I'm just asking questions here, okay?
So that Grizz, that's going to even mess you up even more when you hear from him.
What he said last week,
Oh, thank you, John. What's going on? Appreciate that. So I'll look it up. Good. Okay, cool. Then somebody will be.
said, what do you
Because I don't think what I looked up made much sense. Gonna be totally honest.
think, Paris James? And he said, I've been thinking.
Maybe we can ask Grok. Grok seems to really know some stuff,
About that tulip. And he said, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Did he really?
Yeah. And that's
This guy sounds really refined.
it's like, oh,
Refined hillbilly. That's right. Okay. He came, he's like third third generation mountain man hillbilly.
Give him a mic.
I'll
Give him a mic. That dude loves that joke. I don't get it. I don't get the joke, but he seems to think it is one.
also heard that the September rite of passage is going to be the Reformed rite of passage.
Oh, not gonna be. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
So that's going
What? I don't understand any of this.
to be big.
Got nothing. I
If
had
you're
nothing
part
to-
of the September rite of passage and you're not reformed, you will be by the time you
Oh
leave.
gosh.
Grab a hold to the reins, Bubba.
Oh man, they're so good. Them kidders over there. Them some care with the September rite of passage. The reform too, man. Oh my gosh.
Because the last rite of passage team, 13, was the Baptist rock.
Right.
So now we're having a reformed rock.
What? The Baptist rock? And now you have a reformed rock. What?
I don't even know when the Catholic rock's coming.
That's
It
got to
may
be
not.
like in April or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, that should have been left out more because that was good. That was good timing.
Around Easter.
Yeah, we got no you ruined it. Now you ruined it. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, that was because of the
The Anglican rock will
Unbelievable.
bridge us to the Catholic rock.
And you said that's Anglican is Catholic light.
Yeah.
We do have an Anglican priest coming on the podcast soon, Lord willing, this month.
Ask him, are you Catholic light?
I'm
See what
reading a
he
book.
said.
I'm reading a book written by him right now. It's very good. It's 50 sermons that he's put together and put into a book. It's called Earnestly Christian, which was a statement that he used that had been recorded that was said by Martha Berry.
Mm.
So Jonathan Huggins is
that was the weirdest way to say that. There was a phrase that he said that was recorded by him that also had been said by Martha Berry. Yeah, that's right. I just
his name. He's coming on the podcast. He is the chaplain at Berry College, and he does a sermon every Sunday night at the chapel there. And I didn't know it, but back in the day,
what?
that
You can't find it. No, it does kind of look like the color scheme of Out Come the Wolves. God damn it. Okay, hold on. It's the one. It just says rancid all around the edges, and it's like black with like a skull in the middle. What is happening? Hold on. Now we're gonna like completely derail this. Rancid album covers. Yes, I still call them albums, and I still have albums, like actual albums. What the? Did I forget what it is? Oh wait, did they change it? No, there it is. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Hold on, now I gotta share the screen. One sec. I found it. We're good. Hold on. Oh. All right, and then. I got to do sound effects for the mouse. You can't see it, but it's dead on as far as sound effects, for mouse goes. Doing loops. Wait, that was the wrong one. God damn it. I pushed the wrong button. Doing backflips. It's a trackpad. Okay, I'm having trouble. Rancid. Oh, it is see, weird. They did 2 self-entitled albums. Weird. You can't do that. That's against the rules, right, Ken? You can have more than one self-titled album. What the fuck? What are you even doing? No. What, like it's a movie. You just put the date next to it. No. Rancid. What are you doing? Can you all see this? I can't. Yeah. There it is. So it's the Rancid album. I don't know how I couldn't think of that. It's literally just their fucking name. Anyway, that's what it looks like, kind of. Anyway, all right. Back to the whatever the fuck this is. I don't even know. Here we go. It's a trackpad. Okay, just get off my butt.
Sunday night service was mandatory for all the students at Berry. It no longer is. It's now just voluntary, and it's also open to the public.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't mind going here and preach one night. But anyways, the book.
Well, you get to do it because you want to, not because you have to. So that's pretty cool.
Book and the sermons that he shared. I read one yesterday.
What the fuck was he saying? It's like it's actually voluntary. They don't like tie you up, force you there, and then put those little clockwork orange things in your eyes and force you to watch the sermon involuntarily.
Happened to be about the Sabbath, and I took a Sabbath yesterday on account of it.
Yeah, he almost couldn't get home because he had traveled almost the full Sabbath day.
Oh, look at Drusilla coming in hot with the ads. Yeah, yes, Drusilla, you weren't late. You know that I'm actually pulling back because I did a few too many. All right, so it's that's what
Day's journey
Right.
to get to mom.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. No, 9 times out of 10, you'd have been dead on. Right. But this is one of the few times where too many ads.
And dads.
Yeah.
Very good
13
book.
steps left.
Yeah.
You would love it, CB. I might pass it along to you when I'm done. It's just really short sermons, 2 or 3 pages long,
Yeah.
but very practical.
And she's just checking on me. I mean, it's like, good work. Thank you, Drusilla. Appreciate it.
As it applies to our lives, right? Not a ton of crazy theology and all this stuff. Although what I do want to talk to him about is the sovereignty of God, predestination, and election on the podcast. The
What? Hold on. Mary said mandatory. Hold on. Let me put this up. Mandatory service. What the fuck is it? Mandatory service requirement or something? What was it? Hold on. Okay. Where'd it go? Oh, I'm still not to the bottom. That's why. Oh my goodness. Okay. There it is. Mandatory service attendance used to be a thing. What? And yeah, if you didn't go to the services, you could not go to the classes and they would ditch you. Wow, that's funny. They're just like, no, sorry. It's either all or nothing. Okay. It's like an ultimatum, which means you either eat the whole tomato or no tomato at all. All right. So that's wow, that's crazy. I mean, it makes sense. It's just like a way to like manipulate people into having to go to the service, I guess, or like going to more of the services. But my goodness, what the fuck? That's crazy.
the sermons compiled in his newest book really haven't went into that stuff in depth yet. It's more just practical application of the scriptures to how we live our lives. Really good, man. I'm super pumped.
This guy cracks me up. The practical application of the scriptures that none of them make sense. Like it's if you don't. Here's the thing about. I was thinking about this because I was reading through some of the Bible. I got this like keyword Bible. I really want to get the one that Justin DC for Deconstruction Zone. He had suggested a Bible. Anyway, the annotated anyway. But I got this keyword Bible. And I was reading through some of just like the teachings of Paul and stuff like that. But I was like, I really wanted to go through the teachings of Jesus and like see something that's actually profound. You know what I mean? Like something that actually means something at all, right? Nothing. I could not find anything. The only way this stuff makes sense is if you're already just a Christian that has just decided that everything he says is fully fucking awesome. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like that. Like that's just such an odd concept that it's like everybody's like, he says some of the most amazing stuff. And you're just like what? And he's like, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody comes to the Father but through me. You know, like, yeah, so why is that deep and profound? Because he's God. What? That's profound. No, you're just saying that he's God, dude. Like, yeah, I get that you believe he's God, but like, what was a profound thing he said? That he's God. Like, there's nothing, dude.
I tell you what about the Sabbath. I don't ever hit a slump in the afternoon of
I'll tell you one thing about the Sabbath. I'll tell you right now, it ain't like a raccoon on a Rochester's rubbing belly butt because
any day other than a Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it's like,
I'm super pumped.
I tell you what about the Sabbath.
I'll tell you
I
what.
don't ever hit a slump in the afternoon of any day other than a Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it's like trying to.
What do you mean a slump?
Boring. It's because it's boring.
Like, I don't.
Still bogged down.
Yeah,
It's
just
so funny how they like try to say, like they try to make the case that because they like it's so boring they get tired. And they're like, no other day works like that. What's up with that? Huh? Christianity must be true. That's what that because the devil is making me tired. Because how bored I was and getting tired after that.
it's like you. I mean, even then I don't really want to take a nap, but like you need a nap. It's like, dang, something's forcing me to rest.
I always thought it was that food we ate over at Dad's on Sunday, that rattle.
It may still be that.
That's gonna make Mom mad when she hears that.
The rattle? What? The rat hole? What?
Dang, it's
What is a rattle? What the fuck is? I don't understand.
something's forcing me to rest.
I always thought it was that food we ate over at Dad's on Sunday, that rattle.
It may still be that.
That's gonna make Mom mad when she hears that. But
He like starts like he's telling a joke. Oh my god, these people remind me so much of like the homeschoolers that like went to the homeschool group. This was like the family that had all the daughters that had like ankle dresses that had like like yellow summer dresses with long sleeves and collars,
Talking about that rattle.
yeah,
No,
rattle. Right?
yeah, because we like the created order of things.
Yeah, might just be in our nature to.
He's got to bring it back. He's got to bring like this guy, this kiddo over here just wants to tell stories, right? And he's got to pull them back. Like we're doing a podcast. Remember doing a Jesus podcast because of the rattle things, because of the order. That's good that that Jesus set forth.
It's trying to tell us.
Really?
yeah, it is.
Supposed to rest today.
When you
bub.
choose to do things the way other than what the Lord designed, you're in for a hard time. It don't matter what it is. If He says do it this way, and you say, nah,
And if you want a horrid time, just go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code Lord Brandley. Check out to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code Word Brandley. Also, if you want to hit that like button, that'd be cool. You don't have to. But I'm just saying. I'd appreciate it. And, we could all use the lax around here, Anyway, go get your butt stuff at adamandeve.com. Okay.
I'll do it this way. Then you're in for a hard road.
And if you want a hard road, just go to adamandeve.com. Well, you know what the thing is. Anyway, here we go.
So you guys covered all of Matthew 25. I'm interested in if you guys talked
You are interesting. That is for sure.
about one of the main themes that stood out to be in 25 was it really brought me back to a verse here in Matthew. I forget what chapter it's in, maybe chapter 6, where people come, they're at the throne of God, and the Lord's looking at them like He doesn't know them, and they say, "Didn't we do all these things in your name?" And He says,
And Jesus is like, I don't fucking know you, bro. Get the fuck out of my party. All right. Go Go to the torture chamber. I don't even look. Everybody I don't know gets tortured. That's how it works around here. Go get tortured. Get out of here.
Depart from me. I never knew you, you who practice lawlessness, or you workers of iniquity.
One of the two. It's one of those things. Okay.
And there was kind of that same theme in 25 that I saw, and especially as you move through 25.
The theme of what? Of not knowing him.
And you get into the end where he starts talking about you fed me when I was hungry, you clothed me when I was naked, you visited me when I was in prison, you gave
When was Jesus in prison? This is ridiculous.
me something to drink when I was thirsty, and all these things, right? And
Yeah, we know the verse you're talking about, man. You could have just left it at the first two. We'd have been, yeah, no, I got that part.
What's stands out to me here is when you read these parables in 25, you think, well, how does this fit with knowing that we are saved by grace through faith? And that
It doesn't. You're just kind of tying stuff together because that's what Christianity does.
there is no room for works, or there's no works or following the law or anything that
There's no room for works or following the law or anything like that. It's just grace.
that earns our salvation. And here's these people that have done all these things and they're still being turned away. So where do these works fit? Because it's obviously important that
What the fuck are you talking about, man? Will you just say the thing? Whatever it is that you're like think. Remember that thing you were talking about? Like, oh, it's up in the head and then it comes out my mouth. Can you try that now? Can you try that with what we need to know about here?
you fed me when I was hungry. You gave me something to drink when I was thirsty. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was sick, you visited me. When I was in prison, you came to me.
Now you're just gonna read the verse that you just like. I thought we got the verse, but like now I thought you were like saying like, how does that fit in with like grace through faith? Not by saved by grace through faith, not by works, lest any man should boast. Like, how does it fit in with that? I thought that's what we were doing, and then it's like he sounded like he just interrupted himself, lost track of where he was at, then went back to reading the Bible first. Oh, Bible studies, man, I miss those days. Not really at all. It was painful.
Where in the whole picture,
The whole picture, y'all. Now I want you to keep up, okay? The whole picture now. Ready? All right, continue.
these the good works that we're led to do throughout our Christian life,
Fortune toss like today, Junior.
they're obviously important, but why are they important? Did y'all talk about this in 25?
Oh my God, dude. I feel like this is almost the problem. The fact that our brains just want to go. They just want to keep going. We always got to be thinking about stuff, always got to be paying attention to stuff, right? And when you got people that don't want to actually think about anything that's real or matters or just anything, this is what you get. They're like, let's think about this over here. Now, let's think about the same four things over and over again, and we can't even really do that good somehow. I don't know why we're so bad at thinking four thoughts over and over.
Oh yeah. Did you not listen?
No.
Oh my God, that was good. We got to watch that whole joke again.
Are they important? Somebody asked.
You know he's gonna get pissed too. Yeah, stop it now. All right, boys. I'm gonna take you out to take your butts out to the woodshed.
Did y'all talk about this in 25?
Oh yeah. Did you not listen?
No. Well, somebody answer the question then. If y'all already talked about it,
Motherfuckers.
Well, we already talked about it.
Corey, did y'all talk about this?
Don't you get it?
I mean, we hit on it. Yeah, we hit on it.
What did y'all come to the conclusion at then?
As doing those things as if you were doing them for and to the Lord as well, just as it says here in 37 on down to 40. We talked about that. We talked about the
Oh, is this another Bible study that like he wasn't there, and so now he's like quizzing them? Like, did you guys read this or not? Like, doesn't seem like y'all even know what I'm talking about. I don't think y'all were reading it last week when I was not here. You were supposed to be leading Bible study. Doesn't sound like you did a very good job.
wanting that you would have to do those things, even against like your initial thoughts to do those things. And I don't even remember what James said. I think he probably just said, yeah.
He said tulip or something.
Yeah. But we talked along those lines.
Well, if that's all that y'all talked about, you missed the entire point.
You missed it all. See, yeah, y'all are stupid. That's the problem. You're not even thinking with the Lord's ears that He made you to hear.
Bring the heat,
So-
man.
You're asking us to retell what we talked about. We recorded the hour-long podcast on it, man.
I
Probably
just
spent 10
Oh.
minutes.
Look, this is clear.
You guys, the disrespect, he is going to get taken out to the tool shed.
Clearly, you have something you want to say. Get it out.
where do the works fit and why are they important? Because the works that we
Yeah, it's a Bible study. Yeah, it's the hillbilly Bible study of the beard man that does the videos from his truck. He was just on Joe Rogan.
are led
I don't know what his name is. Don't care.
to do and called to do, and the action that we take upon those things to do those things in our Christian life are evidence of true saving faith. Right? It's just it's the doctrine of
This is what I'm saying. They talk about four things. They talk about four things over and over. So like, this is one of those parts too, where they're always like, it's like they keep it like in this weird. It's so like silly and obvious, but like they keep it in this weird like ambiguous way of like describing it, where it's just like, oh, it's because of work, or it's not by works, right? You can't work your way to heaven. Okay, it's by grace, not by works. But if you ain't working, then we don't see fruit. Okay. And if we don't see the fruit, well, then you're not actually going to heaven. But if you start saying that type of stuff, well, then it sounds like you believe in a works-based salvation. Because why are you expecting them to do works then? Huh? You want them to be doing works in order to get to heaven? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the reason that they are already going to heaven is like, we just see the works as the result, which is the natural. That's not what saves them, but that's the result of having had been saved. And so that, oh my God, it's so stupid.
regeneration. And that's something that I struggled with for a long, long time, to be honest with you guys. That's why
Regeneration? What?
I wanted to bring this up, is because for a long time I would read the scriptures, and I would read these scriptures, and I would read also the one that everybody brings up, faith without works is dead.
That's right. Yeah, because that's right. They also have an entire book of the Bible written by Jesus's brother, by the way, contradicting that whole part. Oh, I accidentally muted it.
And I would read these.
Oh, the M mutes it? That's actually pretty intuitive. That makes sense. Huh.
Read
You can do it just
also
with the push of a button. Look at that.
faith without
Oh
is
my
dead.
God.
scriptures, and you'd say,
What the
how does this?
how did I not know about this? Anyway, sorry.
And I would read these scriptures, and I would read also the one that everybody brings up, faith without works is dead. You'd read these scriptures and you'd say, I would ask myself, how does this fit with the
How does it fit? And I got to make some stuff up to make all this fit.
clear proclamation by the Apostle Paul in the epistle so many times that we are saved by grace through faith, and that alone. And that faith is a gift, so that no man should boast.
It's actually better on mute.
The Apostle Paul goes in, he talks about the law, how nobody could keep the law, all this stuff. And I struggle with that.
God, this guy, they're so bad at it. How is this what they're doing?
Because I knew they fit somewhere. I knew that they were important, but I didn't understand why are these works that are done important is because they are the evidence that we have received this faith to believe upon Jesus Christ, because that's the one of the biggest miracles that when I look back on my testimony, I say, what is it that changed my desires, right? Not made me perfect, but shifted my desires. That's
So being a Christian doesn't make you sinless, but it does make you sin less. Yeah, that's right.
Miracle. Because you as a human, Chili, you really are good at getting down to the root of human desire, because that can become a conundrum. It's like I was talking to Brooke the other day on.
I know. Everybody's like, this just cracks me out. I don't know what it is about like impromptu Bible studies where they're trying to like make a podcast out of it. But it cracks me up so bad. I think because a lot of it might be like a nostalgic thing because it's just funny because I remember being in this. But anyway, Ember said it's amazing these people who believe in revealed truth can't make sense of these really simple passages. Like it's it's amazing. Like, how did they deal with like the super? I feel like they get to Revelation, they just go cross-eyed. They're like, I don't even know. Why is the horn defeated the other? I'm so confused. I think they represent kingdoms or something. Jesus's tongue is a sword. I'm a double-edged sword. I don't know anything. What kind of swords don't have double edges? Like, what is there just a single side of a sword? Isn't the whole concept of a sword that it would have two edges on it? How do you have anything flat with only one edge? That doesn't make any. And you know what? Never mind.
The podcast, and my man RC made a statement. He said,
Doug revealed the truth to me.
I guarantee you, not a single human has ever done anything that they didn't want to do. Well,
Exactly.
people don't understand what he's saying.
Oh, your mic went out, buddy.
Because he's taken it down. He's really gotten down to the root of it.
Nobody's ever done anything they don't want to do. What, man? Are you serious?
And so that's the miracle, is that something comes in you and changes what you want to do.
And if you want something to come or someone to come in you, just go to, so you get the idea. I don't have to, too many ads.
And that is the Holy Spirit coming in, removing your heart of flesh, replacing it with a heart of stone, making you spiritually alive. And all of a sudden, these are the things that you want.
You mixed it up. It's like replacing the heart of stone with the heart of flesh. Forget it.
Want to do. These aren't the things that you always do, but of course the Apostle Paul gives us a beautiful picture of it when he talks about the things that I want to do. I don't always do them. What is going on?
I witnessed both miracles and UFOs traveling with Doctor Who. That's right. Which one? What's the best one? Which one do you think? It was the Purple Man, right? It's the Purple Man one, right? What the hell was his name? Kevin. Who was the Purple Man? What do you mean? None of them were. No, from Jessica Jones. The bad guy was Purple Man. Was the bad guy in Jessica Jones? He was the. God damn it! Forget it.
On here,
I know I speak in references. Okay, it's not my fault. I don't know what the fucking guy's name is.
but he's showing us there has been a change of desire, and that's how these works fit. That's how grace.
No, the Purple Man from Jessica Jones. How do you? You know what? I'm gonna bring it down. Okay. How do y'all not know the Purple Man from Jessica Jones? He was the main villain The British guy who could make everybody do whatever he told them to do. Remember, you could tell them to do stuff, then they would do it. He'd be like, jump out the window. And they'd jump out the window. He was a really hard bad guy to fight because he'd just tell everybody to fight you. And then they would.
By grace through faith fits with faith without works is dead, because there is no such thing as a true saving.
David Tennant, thank you. That's his name. Kevin. David Tennant. That was the Purple Man. It's like, that's what I was, Godspeed, that's what I was talking about. I said the purple, I think I said the Purple Man like 17 times. And you didn't know that was David Tennant. It's fine. It's fine. You know, I'm just
Faith that will not produce a change of the human desire to do good works and to please the Father. You know what I'm saying?
funny because everybody at the computer is like, what the fuck is he talking about? A purple man? What purple man? There's no purple men. What? Where? When was David Tennant was never purple? Okay. I don't know. And the stupid thing was, in Jessica Jones, they didn't even make him purple. Or even fucking wear purple. Just make him wear it. Just make him wear purple, and then some of us, not all of us, nerds would be fine with it. But no, we don't even get that. He like kind of turns purple, not really. It's pinkish more at the last second, right before he died.
I just think it's a.
It reminded me of like the remember, did you ever see that old Mario Brothers movie? The most frustrating shit in that movie, and I think was the reason it bombed. That was the reason that everybody hated it, because you had King Koopa, right? And then he, King Koopa was played by Speed bad guy. Fucking what the hell is his name? He was a bad guy in Speed. Doesn't matter. Can somebody tell me what the name of the bad guy in Speed was? Anyway, but he was played by that guy, and he was just a guy, right? And throughout the whole movie, it's like you're waiting for the Dragon Man, right? The dragon, Bowser, dragon. Mario fights a dragon. That's how it always is, right? Well, at the like one of the ending fights, they get this gun, right? And it's a ray gun that like demutates you or whatever. It takes you back to your spirit animal form or whatever the hell, right? And so you're like, all right, here it comes. And they shoot King Koopa with the laser that turns him into demutates him into like whatever the monster thing, whatever, a dragon, right? And then he gets shot, he comes out, and then they shoot him with a different gun, he blows up. Last sec, like, wasn't even, it was like a purple dinosaur too, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it was just like a big 2 seconds we got of Koopa, of Bowser, the King Koopa as a dragon monster. Unfucking believable. Two-Face was almost as bad in The Dark Knight, but that movie was so good, I'll let it pass. But the fuck are we talking about? How did we get off on this? What is Kevin? Where were we at? They were talking about Paul and people going to hell or something. What were we doing?
A big point to me, because it's something that I had to really struggle with for a long time. Yeah, I think it keeps going too. It doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Just stop when you get saved for a long time. Yeah.
It's so long. Hold up one more time. And then I'm done. I probably saw it. I'm sorry. That was it.
Because it's something that I had to really struggle with for a long time. Yeah, I think it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps going too. It doesn't just stop when you get saved. Just all your changes aren't changed. All your desires aren't changed all of a sudden.
Sanctification.
Yeah, it keeps going. Like, who this morning was you expecting Chad to get ill with Chili because Chili was playing his games this morning about not running?
I literally thought back to what I said last week.
Yeah.
When I said watching him be transformed, I literally thought as I was filming him,
God, so
like,
good.
oh, this Joker's really being transformed. Like, I could tell it wanted to eat him just a hair, and he was like, "It's all right, it's okay." And then he didn't let it bother him one.
The fuck are you talking about, man? Like, this is, you gotta, like, I feel like you gotta lay a little bit of groundwork before you just start, like, doing this. Like, because nobody knows other than the three other people that are standing next to you, but there's an audience out here, man.
Bit.
So when
Hold on. What the fuck?
I could tell it wanted to eat him transformed.
What is he talking
I
about?
literally thought as I was filming
It's like watching Transformed, right?
him, like, oh, this Joker's really being transformed. Like, I could tell it wanted to eat him just a hair, and he was like, "It's all right."
It wanted to eat him. What did?
It's okay. And then he didn't let it bother him one bit.
So when you see people and you say,
He's just playing with his beard, like off camera. He's like,
Just a hair. And he was like, "It's all right.
Well,
It's okay." And then
right
he
here.
he didn't let it bother him one bit.
so when you see people and you say,
What?
that, you know people, and you say, this guy's about to act like this, and then he doesn't, or she doesn't,
God, sorry.
then it's big.
I've had like a terrible cough lately. Oh fuck, that was so funny. Jesus. All right, here we go. For thought said, punk rock fact: the guy who was locked in the adjacent prison cell as Mario and Luigi in that movie, Toad, was played by Mojo Nixon. Who's Mojo Nixon? I feel like, I don't know a lot of the members' names by name, but I know you tell me the band, what they play, and then I can conjure an image. But I'm not good with names, just in general like that. It's y'all are lucky that you have a little circle next to your names that are have little tiny pictures on it and stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to keep track of any of them. Gonna be honest here.
Because they're being changed.
Yeah.
And so that's just a process that should continue throughout your life. And it shouldn't just happen right off the rip. I mean, it should happen right off the rip, but that shouldn't be the only time. You should be like, all my desires are changed. I don't want to do none of that stuff anymore, because there's still some things you're going to want to do that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And through your process of becoming like Christ, you say these sanctification, those are right, but some people, they don't know what that means.
Being
or-
conformed.
Yeah.
They don't, simple little farm or mountain people, they don't know. They don't know what big words like sanctification means.
Being molded and conformed and shaped into the image of Christ, that happens throughout your whole life as you serve him. And there's different, it comes at different times, at different spurts. At least that's my experience.
And if you want some spurts to come out of, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout. Get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brantley. What are you looking at, buddy? Yeah, I'm talking to you. That's right. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brantley at checkout. And get your butt some stuff. Right? I don't know. I'm having too much fun with the picture. Okay. Look at this. Turn them off or something. Yeah, back to the
Might go a few months where you're not really feeling like you are, and then all of a sudden you do. So
sometimes you're not feeling like you are, and then boom, right off rip. I don't know what a right off rip thing folks means. right off rip. You're supposed to start feeling better. You're supposed to be a good, different person. But you're a different person. But God, it takes your whole life to be molded, transformed, and reformed and transformed. To God, to what God wants. But it was it was instant when it happened. But then it takes a long time to transform.
Well, the next thing that I desire, and I know it can only come from God, and it's something that I'm personally praying for. The next thing that I want, genuinely, I want it, is I want to.
AJ, you are too late for the. I was literally about to end. I'm only going on for the next couple of minutes here because of you. So I was about to end with that last ad, but I was like, oh, AJ's here watching. Yeah. So I gotta now I gotta be late for dinner. Because, honey, it's AJ's fault. I know. What? She just got there. I don't fucking.
I want to love people. I want to be able to love people. Because all my life I haven't been able to. Even my family, my friends, I just haven't been able to really love them. It's been for some, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my background in the military and being so transient. But it's not that I don't care about people, but I don't look at them and deeply love them in the sense of just seeing them.
What the fuck? What is wrong with you? Like, first of all, it's really weird that he thinks that because he's a Christian, he's supposed to just like have emotions. I think he's expecting to be like in love with everybody, just everybody. Like, the fucking the person that's monotone saying next at the DMV, he's supposed to have like a swell of emotion for that person, and he's like, I don't have that, and I'm just I can't. Maybe it's because I was in the military. Maybe it's because I moved too much. Never really got a chance to fall in love with everybody, and so I don't even know why. Like, I think maybe I'm sinful. I don't, I kind of feel really guilty about not being in love with everybody.
As one of God's unique creations, like being able to show compassion and truly caring for whatever it is they might be going through or not going through.
I'd say that's your conservatism there, buddy. That's your politics. I don't know why. I just hate it. Well, I don't hate them. Okay. I just don't give a shit about anything they're going through. Okay. Because really, it's probably their fucking fault to begin with. They're a little stupid. If you would just pull yourself up from your bootstraps, the rest of us wouldn't have to pay for your fucking medical. Okay. Trying to charge me because you went and were all unhealthy. Now I got to pay your medical. Thanks, Karl Marx. No, I don't think so.
Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to, when I say I want to be able to love people, of course, we can find the definition of love in Scripture, and we can see the definition of love throughout the book of Matthew and the life of Christ as he has loved.
That was good. Fortune thoughts. Wait, Silly, you're just in time. We are all pulling our eyes out to the lovely siren song of these backwoods cultists. Bask in the pain with us. We have juice and treats.
Loved us.
I love the juice and treats part. That's my favorite part.
You know what I mean? But that's what I want. And
what kind of juice do we have, by the way? Is it the kind that comes with gin, right? It's that kind?
To be honest with you, man, like today, I've been praying for that. And like today,
this poor guy.
had
I've been praying that I care about people.
I have been given not
been given by God. I'm not allowed to tap anything that's not just, it's just me. It all has to be given by Jesus. That's how it has to work because I'm a piece of trash.
not perfectly, but a new sense of love for my friend Chili. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
The food that you eat when it's kind of cold out. What?
yeah, man, it's hard to kind of put that into words, but
Seems like it's hard to put fucking everything in words when you have your brain.
that's the next thing that I want. I really want that.
Cornbread's good at that.
He is very good at that, man.
What the fuck is why are you talking about food items like they're people
That's talking to a guy
or a piece of food?
on I guess it was Saturday.
You wait, you have cornbread and chili. What are y'all from Pinellas Park or something? I mean, you guys, that's sort of a local joke. Okay, if you were from here, in St. Pete, that would kill. You'd be laughing. You'd be rolling right now because of that's it. Anyway.
That had done the rock, and he was talking about y'all's conversation. He was excited. He come up to me and he said, "You know what? I quit smoking pot altogether." He said, "I quit."
Squash juice. No. What is even? That's not a thing. Please tell me that's not a thing. Who squash? You can't juice the squash. Okay, that's you just fry squash. Okay,
doing all of it. And I was like, dang, that's good.
God, I'm like grossed out just thinking about it. Like that's like carrot juice, but worse.
And he's like, man, the way Cornbread talked to me, and he just prayed for me right there on the spot when he asked me. And he's like, man, it really helped me, all of those things. And I said, yeah, it's because
It just really helped me. All those things and stuff, the stuff too, and the things.
he actually cares, and that was exactly what I told him. I said, the way that, so I think that's something, a gift God's given you to be able to love people like as close as much as a human can love people like Christ. I think you're one of the best examples of that I know.
Well, one of the major delineating factors.
Oh, it's bread and juice. What is wrong with those breads? Something wrong with them.
Factors between us and the world is that we love one another, right?
Yeah.
That's what when people look at the church, they say, wow, those people really love each other.
Yeah, that's what we say. We're just looking, we're just, peering in from the outside going, man, look how much those Christians love one another. My goodness. I wish I was part of that club because that is some good loving. Nope, don't see any of that. See a lot of finger wagging, see a lot of judging, see a lot of condemning, not a whole lot of loving. Gonna be honest,
All of these things right here that Jesus talks about in 25, starting in verse 34, going down through here, this is what you would do for each other.
Hey, Jared. So these guys gonna start hugging or what? When are we gonna get the? No, they're too manly for that. No, don't be gay, dude. Don't be gay. Serious. Okay. I don't even like hugs. All right. I don't cry. That's not. I've literally never cried in my life. Okay, just
If you loved each other, if you loved somebody, this is what you would do. You would have compassion on them. You see somebody who's hungry or thirsty or needs clothing or housing or is in prison or is sick.
You're literally against giving any of those people any of that. Your whole thing is fucking figure it out. I got mine. I don't, my tax dollars ain't going towards helping your lazy ass.
This is what it looks like to love. And this is, I know this can only come from God, this desire to And I think the Almighty in His grace is taking me along this route. But I want it, man.
Yeah.
I really do. I want to be able to love people like I ought to be, like I'm called to love people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. The dreary Brits. They don't have that Second Amendment. That's what I figured out with the 2A, man. I got it. I'm sharp. I'm on it. Okay. I figured it out. I did a little bit of thinking. Second Amendment. That's what they don't have. They're not allowed to have guns. Which, seems like maybe either isn't true or the movie Snatch is just lying. I don't know. But I thought that was that. But
and not just my friends.
Right.
Not just my friends.
not just my friends.
To be able to return good.
The awkward silences in this thing are amazing. It's like, and this dude is just he's like doing that thing, and this happens a lot, honestly, in Christian circles like this, where you're just too honest, You're just like, I actually don't love anyone because I don't feel it, and I don't really care what other people are going through or whatever. I'm just like, I don't really care, whatever, get over it, Why, quit crying like a baby, get over it, whatever. But I know the Lord, I want to not, not give a crap about it, and they're just like, you're not really supposed to say that kind of stuff out loud. There's a camera like right there, dude. There's just, okay. Well, maybe, it's maybe not the feeling, the emotion. It's more of like a Christian love, which is a love that doesn't have any of the characteristics of what anybody would describe as love. So you're good. You're good.
Good for evil. That's a hard thing to do. And that's a display of love.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to do that really out of love for God, but I mean, it feels forced a lot of times to do something.
Well,
like
or
that.
even just to show, I mean, like the best and most recent example of it is I even shared it on the podcast I did with Joe as we were walking around downtown Austin. And I'm seeing all these homeless people crouching on the sidewalk, drugged out. I saw some guy yesterday at Publix have y'all seen these people that are
Publix? Oh man, he is totally down here with me, isn't he?
on this fentanyl, and they stayed bent over.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was one of those out in front of Publix yesterday.
What are those? Those creatures from the drug lagoon. Ugh. They just stay bent over like that. What are you even doing? Why don't you stand up straight? Okay. You look stupid bending over like that.
They
and pull up your pants. That's a style that just looks too much like a group of people. Just undesirables is what I call them.
they are zombies.
Yeah.
Zombie state. Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
I don't either.
But there was one, and so it's like,
well, I'll tell you, it's because you feel so good, right? That you kind of, oh, it's right there, and then you kind of, and you don't realize it. You don't realize you're doing it. You're just chasing that good feeling wave, and then next thing you know, you're looking at the ground, and everybody in line at the DMV is like, "What the hell is this guy looking at? Why is he just looking down at the ground like that? Wait, he's sleeping, looking like he's looking down at the ground. What is even going on here?" Okay.
But yeah, in Austin, I shared on the podcast with Joe, I was like, I saw this woman, and I'm, she's sitting down on the sidewalk, nasty and smoking crack.
It's fentanyl, not fentanyl.
The first thing that I think is like, how do you stoop so low? Like you're lower than an animal, Whereas my wife, who is so good at loving people, then she says, well, hey, I've been that low before. you know, and it shocks me out of my, but that's my default toward.
He's like just a judgy fucking asshole. And even his wife's like, well, I've struggled with stuff like that. You know, they're human. These are humans, right? They're just going through a thing, man. Like, you know, they're sick. They have a sickness, man. They're going through stuff. He's just like, ugh. Look at that. I can't stand these persons like this on that fentanyl.
People. It's like, what? Well, you're in the shape you're in because of the choices you made.
There you go.
What's wrong with you? You live in a.
I knew it. I knew he was getting. Well, you need to get a little better making choices there, bucko. I don't know what you think this is, Scooter, but you need to start thinking before you start doing. Okay, this is a result of your choices, young man. Okay, and that's why I don't have to give a shit.
America, dude. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I think that's a good
I knew
quality
it.
to be able to put
God, he's
yourself in
such a
that
piece of shit.
person's shoes. I mean, just
Mhm.
the example, case in point, the young man you was talking about on the rock course. Like as we're talking, I'm thinking to myself, well, what if this is me?
Them Irish are invincible with a bit of whiskey, with a big bit of whiskey. But yes, Irish whiskey or Scotch, but that's more for Scottish people.
In this situation, and these things were going on within my family and so on and so forth. How would I want my kids to be treated, my mother, myself?
Yeah.
You know, and just talking it out in and of that. And a lot of times you just have to say hard things. Like you just have to be brutally upfront and honest. If something's BS, you just have to say, dude, that's BS.
Yeah.
And if there's other ways to look at it, I think you can only talk through and show compassion if you put yourself in that person's place. Cause they're so like, we can't understand what it's like to be addicted to fentanyl.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess we could somewhat probably understand to be looked at upon in different ways. I remember a story that you told on, it might've been on a podcast or something, or maybe it was an Instagram post about how you was picking weeds out of a garden. And you noticed the way somebody, when you had your landscape business, that somebody looked at you, you know, and you had thought to yourself, and it wasn't egotistical what you wrote, but I remember just a tidbit from it that, you know, don't you know, I stood by the president and watched over a guard of him one night.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
God, you're the most insecure fucking small person ever. My God. Because he's like, don't you look at me like, you know, I stood with the president. Yeah, that's what I thought. You look, piece, just looking at me like I ain't way better than you. I am better than you, just so you know.
you could somewhat have an idea
What
of,
the fuck?
okay, I get what it's like to be looked at upon as you're less than me, you know, for somebody
The old preachy Richie.
walking by.
Yeah. To
Preachy Richie. I've never heard of it. That's good. That's funny. Oh my God, that is well, that's kind of dark. Okay, especially when you put it in context with what it probably, you know, what it would most likely would be related to. But
to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to just start with what degree you understand, because you're not going to know everything.
you don't. Here's what's weird about this. Is like you see it where they're like, oh man, I have to have had experienced something that I can make, like that I can put it into similar terms so that I can empathize. And it's like, dude, like we don't, like, why do you got to do that? Like, why can't you just, like, because there's certain things that like you're never going to be able to get anywhere even close to being able to go, oh, I experienced something similar to that. So that's why I can have compassion for this person going through this thing. Right. And it's like, it's strange to me the way that they're talking about this. Like there's going to be certain things that you're, because of like who you are and, you know, your position and your privilege and things like that, you're never going to be able to empathize then with people that are different. unless you can put it in terms of like, oh, well, that's just like me. Because I was just like one time a black guy said that he didn't like me. And I was like, oh, that person doesn't like white people. That's the same thing. And you know, like the kid. So I know what it feels like. No, you don't. No, you don't. Just stop. Just stop. You just empathize without fucking having to have some kind of experience that is whatever exactly the same. It's not going to happen.
I think a lot of people think lack of experience is what keeps people from being able to empathize. You know, like you said, we don't know what it's like to be addicted to fentanyl, so we have a hard time empathizing with people. But I don't really think it's lack of experience that keeps us from doing that. It's really pride.
Yeah. That's the first correct thing you've said this entire time. You're pride. You're prideful. You think, or you could just say you're arrogant, or you think you're better than everybody.
Because we don't need the experience to empathize in a way with those people. Really, what really prevents that from happening is us going, I would never stoop that.
Yeah, that
low.
would never
like,
happen to
I
me.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so every time I don't think
It's funny because I was like, oh, that was the point I was kind of trying to make right there.
it's a coincidence that
I'm
you
better than that.
are that way
Right.
that Blake was describing, because you are one of the most humble people I've ever met. Like, I don't know how that all intertwines, but that's what allows you to do that. Like any level of growth I've experienced in being able to love people, it's because I was less.
I love that dude wore his best tank top for this recording. It's got fucking like bleach spots are all on it. Like, wait, did you spill the bottle of bleach? Right, but honey, that's my shirt. My shirt. Oh man, no, it's not too bad. Just a couple of dabs. I'll make it work. I'll make it. Man, honey, do you have a Sharpie? Yeah, just get a Sharpie. We'll just fill it in. Yeah. I'll fix it right up. Take care of them bleach spots, you know.
Prideful, or I laid down some pride about something. You know what I'm saying? Because like I can empathize with people all day long that have different experiences than me. I mean, people have lived.
Yeah, most people can. Most of us aren't judging everybody else, going, boy, if you just I'd never make choices you made. Like, most of us aren't doing that, because most of us can understand that, like, yeah, people make dumb choices sometimes. Doesn't make them a bad person. Doesn't make them evil. Doesn't make them stupid either. It just means that they're people, man. Like, people make choices for all sorts of fucking reasons, right? They're like well-adjusted, reasonable people that have had situations happen where they've ended up destitute and doing drugs and stuff, and ended up on things like fentanyl because you make different choices in those kinds of situations. It's like, it's just weird, but they just think like everybody's just being bad. Like, everybody's like fine. They got everything figured out. They got a job. And one day they're just like, I want to do some drugs. And then they're just like, I'd like to wreck my life. That's what and so then they blame the things that most people do once their life is wrecked as the cause of like what wrecked their life. And it's like, it doesn't fucking work like that all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, there's situations where things like that do happen. I'm not saying that, but like, it's not all the time. And based on what my experience was, most of the people did the drugs and stuff after they had pretty much lost everything. They were kind of just like, fuck it, who cares? I need some kind of dopamine hit, and I'm not going to get it from any natural means. That's for goddamn sure. So bring on the unnatural fucking means. You know what I mean? You know what I means? Anyway, all right. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. This was super fun. And, if you want to play with things hanging out of your butt, go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley and check out. Get 50% off. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley. Me and my old man Chili and cornbread all going to be getting down together. We're gonna need some toys, you know. Like, we'll put a nice little. We'll put some butter and some cornbread, you know. Like, oh man, oh, this is good. Oh man, I'll put my kidney bean in that chili. Oh man, that's good, man. Got all sorts. I go all day. I go all day. That's right. Okay. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout. And get your butt some stuff. And if you want to get your butt some of my stuff, I did not. What even was? Dude, Brantley, you're like covering up. I think there you go. Go to Adam and nope. Go to Patreon. That's right. Go to patreon.com/Punk Apostate. Do a one-time payment on Cash App, and because get stuff, right? You can make a payment. You could just help me out, right? But if you want to become a member, you can hit that join button, right? And if you want to email me, it's punkapostate@gmail.com. And if you want to talk on Discord, we got the link for that down. And if you want, you can follow me on the social medias and stuff and interact that way. Sometimes I post stuff here and there. I'm trying to come back and do it a bit more. But not using social media is a hard habit to break. I've gotten too used to the peace of mind that I get from not arguing all day with theists on Facebook. Anyway, so do all that stuff. That'd be great. But hey, the main thing is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.